Lone Syndicate said what's up GRINN.
There, we're good. Jesus, sorry about that. Okay, I just said, dude, I'm so excited for the Borderlands thing. I'm so enthralled.
Lone Syndicate said you muted GRINN.
Yeah, I see it. I got it. I got it.
McFlufferkin said no audio from Mike.
Yeah, I got it. I was gonna say though, I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled with the state of some of these skill trees. I hope I don't regret saying that. But at least for me, watching all this stuff.
Heyo, what is that thumbnail, lol? Something about that face head I can't stop looking at.
Which one? Which one? Was it the girl one, or is it what was this one? I forget. What is today's thumbnail? This one, or the previous one, which is her name is Fenrir or something like that. I can't fucking remember her name. anyways, but what do you call it? Today we're gonna be hanging out talking about some stuff. How was your week? Before we get into the meat and potatoes, which is us going over the Borderlands skill tree for however long, guys. I apologize, but this is like one of my favorite things about Borderlands in general, is literally just reading text, not understanding it, reading it 5 more times, then understanding it, then being like, oh, will this interact with that thing? And we have 2 characters. We don't have all of them yet, but we have 2 characters, so we should be able to break down the nitty gritty of what everything is. What is today's thumbnail? Let me sec. I'm so curious what Red's referring to. Is it this one? This thumbnail was a Borderlands thumbnail. Oh, the face. Oh, that face. Yeah. The face is a nightmare, Red. I do not begrudge you for being curious.
McFlufferkin said the reaction pointing guy that has oddly detailed head.
It's a mess. So I essentially, using AI, I was like, hey, and I got the image of the 2 dudes pointing at something, like, oh, but the other like cartoon drawing of like shitty face the AI wasn't able to interpret what that was. So it was just able to interpret what the one guy was. So I just put like silly meme face that's goofy. So the AI perceived it as Goofy, like Goofy the guy, like Goofy Disney. So he has floopy ears and shit, and he's just like, oh, he's like pogging, I guess. But yeah, that's what that is. It's an AI's amalgamation of what it's perceiving a meme to look like, and unfortunately gives it probably far too much detail. But also, the meme of the 2 dudes pointing is like 3 lines. Like, it's the most non-detailed thing ever, I guess. I just think it's just uncanny enough to where it catches you and is like, what the fuck is that? So, yeah.
G-Red said those weird tendrils on each side of the face.
Yeah. They're goofy. No, but they're actually Goofy's ears. Like, that's what that's meant to be. Goofy has, like, floopy ears. So when I typed in, like, Goofy face, it thought I was meaning it like a silly meme face, like, or something. But instead it was, like, Goofy from Disney, like, with the floopy dog ears. So it gave it floopy dog ears. Now, why it made it, like, pale white is I think it's because I think it was originally, like, I put it on a white backdrop. So it tries to interpolate whatever color it's already there. It kind of takes the pixels and tries to form them in whatever color pattern it most thinks. So if you say, like, a green hat and it sees like green in some place, it's going to assume that's where the hat is. Anyways, but yeah, man, how was y'all's week? I got shit done this week. I have been waking up at like fucking 7 a.m., which maybe that's not crazy for some people, but I'm waking up at 7 a.m. and the only thing that's fucking me is I've been going to sleep at like 12 still. So I'm having less sleep, but still I'm waking up early. Getting a lot done.
Lone Syndicate said week has been good, been playing ZZZ, which I just noticed Ju Fufu banner is next week, like damn, where did the time go? Been drawing, playing some Nikkei and Etheria, been watching anime.
Damn, you've been checking shit off the list, man. I've been doing like 2 things, which I'm sure is gonna get me a little crazy. Yeah, we'll talk about it crazy. We'll talk about the price tag thing in a hot minute, but I was gonna say, what do you call it, loan? Yeah, it's insane that we're already almost so close to the ZZZ thing. I'm probably not gonna be able to get nothing, but we'll throw pebbles at a god. Who knows? And hope that pebble shatters the mountain. I guess would be a better analogy. Anyways, but that's something that I think would be interesting to hear what you guys think about. I say this as a person who is like, I am getting double fucking eviscerated. So like people who live in the States. Do not know the pain that it is with the high-priced games, so to speak. So again, but yeah, people are like, man, it sucks that I'm having to spend like another $10, $20 when I used to spend $70. Now I'm having to spend $80. Ridiculous. And I'm sitting here in Canada, and I'm like, I used to spend $70, and now I'm having to spend $120, man, because our Canadian dollar has decreased in value so much. And fucking US is the gold standard and all that stuff. So just pain, essentially. Just pain, agony, all that stuff. Anyways. Now,
G-Red said, good week.
Okay.
Still playing Stellar Blade a lot. And recently Bloodstained Ritual of the Night with lewd mods.
Ooh, I was about to say, man, I've heard nothing but like, dude, sometimes you just learn things through shorts. So like, I finally watched this like guy who always makes these like meme videos where he just plays like 3 characters. He's like a slightly reddish hair, wears glasses, pale skin, that kind of guy. I'm sure you've seen him. Anyways, he basically does like quick little shorts about stuff like that, memeing on stuff. But it's kind of how I start to learn about what the fuck is actually happening with all this. So apparently that's what it's going to be, which it looks very cool, where like the Xbox console is going to come out. It's going to be more like a PC. It's going to have the entirety of Game Pass, and you're just going to have to wait 1 year to get some of the exclusives from Sony, which is a pretty compelling deal, I think. And then Sony's console is coming out next year, but people are not as excited for it because they just haven't kind of delivered the exclusives that people have been wanting. They've been doing a lot of remasters, or at least that was the joke of the video. But what do you call it? To me, that's awesome, dude. The fact that we have to wait 1 year to get all of the stuff on PC, and now it's kind of like confirmed. That's huge. You know, that's super. I wonder when even PlayStation is going to be like, how much for Game Pass on PlayStation? I feel like it'll take 2 years. Depending on if PlayStation is like, fuck, we're hemorrhaging money because of this weird non-playing into console wars type stuff. Who knows? But that's what I thought when you brought that up about the thing. But regardless, it showed that like it's exciting that we're going to get all these Sony things moving forward on PC, like all of them within 1 year time frame.
McFlufferkin said, been juggling my time for Night Train, Helldivers 2, Rivals, Star Wars Starfield mod, V Rising Game Nights, and possibly going to finally start a co-op BG3 with my brother as early as next week.
Damn, I'm about to say, a lot of you guys are in your peak gaming arc, and I'm here for it. I love hearing about it. I feel like I'll get there one day, but right now, I've been doing everything but gaming, honestly. I still managed to, I still managed to get in. You know when you're like at that level of like, I'm not good enough to invest time into like becoming good at this video game, but I do still have like the slight urge to play it. So every time I jump back in to play it, I'm just slightly worse because I just like played one game. That's not enough to kind of like get better at aiming or get into your groove. I'm talking about Marvel Rivals for me. It's a mess. Anyways, but yeah. What was I going to say about the thing? I wanted to mainly talk about how crazy it was that people were that we're gonna get like a lot of exclusives now on PC, which we kind of have got an inclination anyway that's gonna happen. So that like PC and Xbox are eating good. Also, what do you call it? Just how many games people are playing is so interesting, especially like it's such a crazy spread. We talked about ZZ. Oh yeah. Okay, so run back to that. Oh, my back. Oh no! I didn't even see your message, Don. I didn't even see nothing pop up in the feed. I should pop up the Twitch chat just in case it does pop up. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone's seen it because it's not in the thing. No! I wonder why. Why I ate your message. Oh, my back.
McFlufferkin said Z's dailies and limited time stuff, and Soulstone Survivors 1.0, but neither are necessarily worth recording. The latter would be a chaotic mess to watch.
Maybe it's a good chaotic mess. You never know. But yeah, also it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes to hit record and like store that shit and upload it, and it seems like sometimes a headache. So, yes. But, yeah, repost it again, or tweak it. I wish I could just tell YouTube, don't fucking hold back any messages. And then if it ever gets bad, then I can just turn like this sensitivity warning on. Anyways. If I could run, that's YouTube eating it, not TTS. Yeah. Exactly what I said, except not in TTS. No, but that's what I'm saying, Nong. So we can't see your TTS. So for me, what do you call it? You said exactly what I said, but the TTS didn't work. Except we don't see your previous message. PlayStation equals Game Pass? Question mark? Okay, I see. Yeah, honestly, I don't know, man. To me, I don't know. Again, to me, it's funny because like I'm surprised by Sony's actions up to this point, like a lot. You know, like I think it's crazy. Like to me, it's one of those things where I'm like, oh shit, now Xbox is like a wildly compelling offer, you know? And also, like the offer of, like if Xbox is able to actually deliver on like a marginally priced gaming PC with like a decent amount of heft to it, I know a lot of people who've been hoping like that for like Steam. People have wanted like a Steam console for a long time that they could just set up in their living room, cost maybe like $800 like a Steam Deck. It will just go and hopefully is decent bang for your buck. And you don't have to worry about sitting in a thing or whatever, and you could just have that if you have the disposable income and want to like sit on your couch and game and also watch Netflix and all the other things that are basically connected to the internet anyway. So now if Xbox can shortcut that and they basically just make like an Xbox that's kind of like a bridge between Xbox's like interface and also Microsoft's Windows, which I know some people hate, but some people are just used to it, so they'll just go with it anyway. So yeah, I think that's Microsoft is in a really, really powerful position. I'm surprised that Sony let them do that, you know? Yeah, but we'll see. It seems like it's a good time to be a gamer. But to circle back to that, because I want to finish off that train of thought, games are becoming more like higher priced. The thing that irks me is that this conversation has been brought up around two of the games that I quite enjoy, and I feel like they're the two examples where they're one of the few examples that I actually don't mind paying a little bit more for these type of games, especially when both of them are on Game Pass for $12. So like if you don't want to spend that money or you physically can't, then you just buy it on Game Pass. Oh no, sorry, this one isn't. Sorry, this one is not. But this one also isn't priced at $80. It's priced on $70. So I'm talking about Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds is on Game Pass, I believe, day one. But anyways, for this, when people the thing that irks me about the Borderlands situation specifically, is that people were like saying how this game can't be $80. We're gonna riot. That's so fucked up and all that stuff. And Randy Pitchford didn't help. All right, I'm gonna say, Randy Pitchford has a way of just say less. Okay, jeez. But anyways, it ended coming out and it ended up being $70. But then people were like, oh my god, it's $120 or $140. That's ridiculous. But to me, I'm like, well, no, if you look back at what you could say as like a criticism is it's crazy that they're trying to get all that upfront cost immediately. That's messed up. If you look at any business, though, if you had the option to be like, okay, because if you look at $140, I believe it's the same amount of money that Borderlands 2 offered. Like if you look at the Headhunter packs, you look at the DLCs, and you look at the Vault Hunter classes, I believe it all added up to around $140, which, by the way, for me, I think it's $230 Canadian, which you don't have to pay all at once if you don't want to, you know, and probably you shouldn't. Like, this is a great example for not do this, like to not pre-order, etc. I think I probably will be getting the one that's, I think it's like $80 because it comes with the Headhunter packs and I think the Vault Hunters. Which I'm like, okay, I actually want those two. I honestly just want the Vault Hunters. I think it's a slight deal too, because you're not paying later down the line, which might be a little bit more money. Probably won't be that much money. Probably differentiation of $4.
I'm also looking at a few GMG discounts for the Alters, Stellar Blade, and Division 2 DLC.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see if the Dark Tide Arbites DLC would be available too, but the other deals might expire.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was surprised to see that. I'm not sure if anyone else was, but was anyone else surprised to see the Division get an update out of nowhere? I wonder if like Ubisoft is testing the waters to be like, well, you know, because I was wondering about that. Like, what like Ubisoft is in like a hole right now. What are they going to do to like bring back people's interest? I think that would do it. I think that would do some goodwill.
Lone
like, you know,
Syndicate said, I mean, the deluxe
3, 4,
edition
5,
includes the base game, what looks like the equivalent to Headhunter Pack DLC Vault Hunters and DLC story campaigns.
Yeah. I think it has everything. I think it has like the same. Basically, it's like saying, okay, how it's something that businesses do, where they basically say, okay, what was the lifetime amount of sales we made for a thing? So if you look at Borderlands 2, how much money did we make over the course of that game's lifespan? And if you have really like big fanatical Borderlands fans, I mean, man, and like that's the main game they play for like 5 months. I don't like it's to me it's not evil. You're just like, again, it's one of those moments where like you as a player are empowered to purchase what you want or feel like is worth it. It is probably the best financial decision to just buy the base game and to wait and let people show if the DLC characters are going to be any good, if the story add-ons are going to be any good, if the bossing and loot's going to be any good. Like, that's the smartest choice, but I'm not going to begrudge a business for basically being like, hey, if you have some faith in us that we're going to deliver, then sure. I mean, that's just like a person making a slightly risky financial decision, which I don't think it's on companies to like completely limit, especially when every other company is doing it. And this game could be filled with a bunch of shit. Like, Borderlands is always one of the few games that's like, let's not do like a weird season pass that's like extremely expensive. I do think they have some sort of like slight battle pass thing, but it's also just fucking nonsense fluff anyway, skins and such. Again, to me, again, the more I think about this, the more I don't like. Their better argument is like, should games be $80? And to
Lone
me,
Syndicate said, and most likely the cost will be lower than if you were to buy everything separately or the base game plus the session
it's like a risk,
pass.
exactly. Yeah. It's
Gnawing Fetus said, I used to have faith.
Yep.
Then Wonderlands happened. I'm ye of little faith now.
Fair enough. I will say, man, I always hate when Wonderlands is talked about a little bit because I thought, man, Wonderlands did some cool shit. Wonderland was a good example of like trying a bunch of shit and some shit really
said
didn't work.
Ubisoft scrapped a few upcoming Division games, so Massive has returned to focus on more Division 2 content. Latest is the Battle for Brooklyn DLC. There's potentially winter version of DC coming.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to give it like an update like Destiny. You know, people always talked about like, well, what if we didn't make a Division 3, but we just updated the engine or, you know, optimized it to a much better extent so we could add ray tracing and all these like nice looking things, and then we just made like more and more DLCs for it. We won back our player base that way, and that's made it more sustainable, so on and so forth. But oh yeah, I was just gonna say about the like how well, to me, Wonderlands did like a lot of cool shit, like the powers, the magic. It was annoying that you couldn't like use abilities and shit.
Gnawing Fetus said, I love the base Wonderlands. I just hated for what they passed as full-fledged DLCs.
Totally. Yeah. Again, but Wonderlands to me was the best example of like the base game was actually pretty good if you just ignore all the shit that came after it. You know, the OP levels and the like the non DLC packs that unfortunately some of us paid for. But yeah.
Lone Syndicate said, I brought the highest edition of Wonderlands and I got burned, but I kinda want to give him the benefit of the doubt since the game was made during a time where the world was basically on pause.
Yeah. Yes. Lone is also a gacha payer. So Lone is entirely okay with risk and also like satisfaction management within himself, I think. But yeah, I don't know. To me, when I seen Wonderlands, how do I put it? If I compare Wonderlands to Borderlands 3, I thought Borderlands 3 actually had a pretty decent like post-launch content cycle. So if they just forget what they did with Wonderlands and amplify what they did with Borderlands 3, then I think I have more faith in this one working out. I still just not gonna pay for the biggest edition, just because it's way too much money for me. Like, again, for some of you guys who are in the States, it's like, I think it's $140, something like that. For me, it's like 200 and something, which is to me like just over the edge of like, yeah, wait, I'll make one payment now, and then maybe slightly more money later down the line if they deserve it. But yeah. But anyways, I wanted to ask you guys this. I think we've talked about this ad nauseum, to be fair. But to me, it's one of those things where, how do you guys feel about paying like an extra $10 or the price of game is going up? I've talked to you guys about this, how I feel, I think, which if you guys missed it, I am fine if the game provides sufficient value. Like, this is the thing that, like, I do think it is possible in this world to have a game that actually, and it's funny because, like, people just don't think about it in this way, but, like, there's a game that you probably spent $500 on, probably, right? Just some game. I'm not talking about, like, microtransactions, super predatory as hell things. Even if we just think about like a game franchise, like how many CODs have people buy throughout their lifetime? How many Borderlands have you bought throughout the course of your lifetime? It is just a value metric for how much content or value that you're getting that you're willing
Lone
to say,
Syndicate
I will
said gacha is
buy
kinda
more.
different in way when paying in gacha. I know the moment I buy currency, I'm mostly like get burned different from buying a product that's supposed to be a full experience at the rip.
That's fair. I guess that's fair, yeah. But that's also more to my point of like, you're a being of chaos. You're already accustomed to a certain level of like, if this goes terribly, I pay for it and I hate the character. It is what it is. Whereas people who are the opposite, who are like, well, when I play a game, I expect to get something out of it. you're already tainted by by a higher level of resistance or pain tolerance that I don't think most people are. That's why when I was like Lowen's buying the whole thing, I'm like, well, or he's like, I'm okay with getting hurt again. I'm like, well, that doesn't surprise me. You, I think, have a naturally higher pain tolerance because of the gotcha sphere that we exist in sometimes. To me, like, again, I think I probably will buy the Outer Worlds and Borderlands, the edition that comes with the headhunter packs and shit, for the price tag that they are, which I think is like, the Outer Worlds is going to be $80. But to me, everything that I've seen about the Outer Worlds, like, again, there's no better argument to me than paying a little bit more for a game than an RPG that has like big levels, tons of quest complication, that has like many hours of hopeful enjoyment or possible shittiness. But honestly, I still like RPGs still hit for me. Like, the only RPGs that have kind of died is Assassin's Creed to me. Assassin's Creed to me always feels like them trying to do the minimum amount of work to get me to spend the most amount of time there. Like, hey, here's a bunch of random shit on the map. There's no reason to collect it, but we did it. So technically, if you were to collect all of it, there's 1,000 hours of gameplay here. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to do any of it. And they're like, shut up and buy it. And I'm like, nah. Whereas with like even Avowed or even like the last like Wonderlands, as much as I want to say like, yeah, that DLC was shitty, which it was, if I think about how much time I played like the base game, I got my $60 worth and then some out of it. I also really enjoyed that they actually started like, they tried different shit with that. Yes, I would like to go back and not pay for the thing that I didn't think was really worth that money, but I can't say I got like a bad deal out of it, you know? I know, like, Borderlands, I don't know if it's considered an RPG. I think it has RPG elements, maybe. Or maybe not. Roleplay is what it determines itself with, so I guess not, but it still feels like enough of a game, I guess. It's also Crazy says it's $130, but $7 plus tax. I got you. So it's close to just basically
Lone
$40. I got the
said, "True, I am a being of chaos. This is the path I have tread. I will say I'm on the fence about kicking out the money of the deluxe edition for BL4."
Yeah, I would say wait, because to me the thing.
Ignoring Fetus said Borderlands is more RPG than Assassin's Creed.
Yes, we can agree with that. We can agree with that. For sure. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get to the react part of the stream, but this is what I've been waiting the whole day to just tear into this. But let me ask you guys a question. We are about to jump in to our two characters. We don't know. I'm not sure what people are playing, but we're going to run through the skills, try to see the motions in the ocean, what they're hopefully going to scale into. Which character should we start first? Should we start with Rafa, the Digi guy, which is honestly like a mixture of Krieg and Mose and Zane, with like probably being like 60% Zane, and like there's some paths that make him very Krieg-y, I think. Or the Siren, Vex. Wow, that's a really easy name. I should have probably remembered. But anyways, 3 letters. I live in a no sales tax state, so it's $130. I'm like, damn, that's nice. But it's hot as fuck where you live, though. ain't it? Yeah, probably. Lone says, well, thanks anyway, Red. What did Red say?
Ignoring Fetus said go with the Siren first.
We're going with the Siren first? All right, we're going with the Siren first. Okay. So that's Rafa. Fuck, I hit this one. Okay. We'll go with the Siren lady first. Shut up, J Dolts. I love you, but shush. Okay, so what do you guys think about her 3 talents? First of all,
G-Red said I've not played AC Shadows since it came out. I fell off. Plus, and more importantly, one of the updates Ubisoft did broke modding for the game mostly, which further made me lose interest.
Yeah, that sucks.
McFlufferkin said I'm probably the only one interested in Rafa, so y'all can watch Vex first.
Speak for yourself, man. I actually think I'm more excited for Rafa in some cases. I think he has really interesting synergy, whereas she also has crazy synergy, but we'll talk about it. She has, is it her? I think it's her. She has one skill that everyone's just like, what? She has a skill within one of her skill trees that basically lets you stack kill skills 3 extra times. So say if you get like, at the max stack of investing in this kill skill, you get like 30% healing. Well, you can get another 3 stacks on top of whatever the max like variant is, which is like Zane on drugs. And then there's also one where it's like every time you have a chance of critting, you have a chance of detonating a kill skill. So your kill skills can be detonated against bosses. And her kill skills, seemed crazy. Anyways, but I want to ask you guys real quick, which of the 3 tiers are you the most excited for? So if we go back over here, we have the ability to summon a pet, or an animal, we'll say. I'll be honest, this one to me is the least exciting, because I don't trust the pathing at all. Like, at all. I played Flak. It was bad then. It's bad now, I bet. No bueno. That's going to be bad. But I will say the one that is much more intriguing to me is her clones, which are not considered pets, but are considered minions. Probably still scale off the same, amplification. I think they're all considered minions, but that's a difference.
G-Red said the succubus wings tree.
That one I think is going to be the strongest. I think the strongest skill tree for her is going to be a mixture of the succubus skill tree and the clone skill tree, or the clone skill tree and the pet class skill tree. But to me, I'm really excited for the clone one. The clone one to me seems like, am I getting my pet class? Because it eventually just it evolves into summoning a bunch of that's the thing. This class is absolutely the pet class, because even the Reaper skill tree, the ending capstones, which we'll get into eventually, still spawn out Reapers. So you do this massive drain attack that eventually detonates chances to spawn a bunch of Reapers that will go and do melee damage and shit. So every single one of her skill trees has in some way her tapping into summons of any kind, or minions is what I think they define them as. So yes. But to me, I want to know what you guys are the most excited for. The one where you summon a pet, the one where you summon a duplication of yourself that's melee, and another version of yourself that's a gunner that doesn't move. Or the version of where you summon a giant, demon wings, and then you have a ball that you can throw at people, and you basically just do I think it converts damage into your elemental stuff. It's weird. Little odd. Anyways, but let's get into the nitty gritty. I think he goes through all of the pet classes first. Again, I am just worried for this guy. And I really, the only way they can make this work, I think, the cat, is if he just fucking slaps. There is a skill where you can have 3 of him out, I believe, which makes him okay, but that worries me, because when 3 are out, I feel like they're going to make the damage pretty shitty at a base.
G-Red said I would be exited for the summons, but I fear they will be shit and not balanced well.
Yes.
Until modders fix them properly, like they did for BL3.
Yeah, I'm curious, man, because I feel even there's again, if they just do we're gonna get into it, but a lot of these skills, especially down here when you finally get into a phase, they start allowing you to do things that to me are okay, this is just bang out good. For instance, you can summon a sprite, a little floating thing that will run around and do damage, do AoE damage, will heal you for a percentage of your life, so on and so forth. So each one of these classes has a thing like that, which to me I'm okay, that seems more powerful than your melee cat that is limited to having to get to the enemy first. And I think it detonated whenever you do cryo damage or something like that. So you can constantly keep this up. Anyways, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's get into the nitty gritty of our skills. Yes, it talks about the damage multiplier, because when you activate your skill, it summons the big old cat and makes it all empowered. All that. Okay, the first skill in the what is this skill tree again? This is the cat skill tree. Okay. Vex gains bonus kinetic damage with her weapons when she uses her action skill. Vex is also based around action skill damage, kinetic damage, which basically just non-elemental damage is what kinetic damage is. And apparently you can actually induce your pet to not have any sort of element, so you can also get kinetic damage on things that you may not think you'd be able to. Things like that. Also, once it's snitched, it says Springtrap is in Dead by Daylight. I have seen that, and I have thought, weird. I used to get pulled into the Dead by Daylight trap. I feel like the game is just kind of coasting now. It was in this weird resurgence of popularity, and now I feel like it's just become kind of chill. I feel like a lot of those horror kind of adjacent games have fallen into that. Anyways, moving on. We have another skill. Vex deals increased action skill damage the higher her health. I don't know if I love that one, but it kind of makes sense because a lot of Vex's skills have her healing through damage dealt, and if you have a bunch of pets, in which you will if you go down the skill tree, out and about, then you're going to constantly be able to to heal and therefore be at max health. Also, your pets do good aggro, so she rarely like gets focused. Maybe bosses could melt you and shit like that, but otherwise that seems like it is impossible to keep up as other skills, especially in the past series. Vex and her minions, so her like anything that her like pet is considered a minion in the thing, gain movement speed and damage reduction. Movement speed can be pretty crazy. I want to see this be like max the fuck out, like 500x speed for your minion, because it makes it like there's a skill, there's a thing that you can have where it basically just has like you summon a clone of yourself, like just like Zane. So I'm like, please give him some bite, or be able to like get to them, because like at least with the ranged person they can at least shoot, and you can just redeploy them.
Said I like that. I fucking hate triads skills like do X more the lower your health. Shit.
Yeah, that it always is tough. Unless you can like there was things you could do with modes where you could like permanently kneecap your health, so that you're always detonating
max is at 15 and 20 for that.
Yes, yeah. So that's the thing that's interesting is like a lot of these skills seem to be actually pretty decent scaling. So it's not like, hey, increases your damage by like 20%. It's like, no, increases your damage by like 80%.
Said, I think Vex infuses her pet based on her weapon's element. Yes. So enchantment might have details change accordingly.
Yeah, details. Yeah, for sure. Details. But yeah, details. I don't know why the TTS messed that up. Kill skill. Restores a percentage of Trouble's command skill cooldown and respawn cooldown. So this is actually crazy if you consider that this kill skill at its max investment is going to then be able to be stacked 3 extra times, because she has another skill within her skill tree that allows you to do that. But it's not in this skill tree. I believe it's in her Angel of Death skill tree, which is about like 3 tiers deep. So what was it, 15 or 10 skills deep? You'll be able to get that one. But anyways, the cooldown thing to me, I don't know why it's close up on the knees, but it's a typo. That's what it is. This to me, how do I put it in the words properly? Also, what do you call it? This is the thing that I'm not so sure I like, but I could see I like it more as expansions make us have more access to more augments. But like, I am bothered by like, there's so many cool augments and I can't have a lot of them. This character is also able to have 2 augments. I believe if you go to one of her skill trees at the bottom, we'll get to eventually, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, this is an augment. Command skill, press and hold F to command Trouble to explode on itself. I always hated these perks in games. You can like sacrifice your pet. First of all, you're a monster. Second of all, I don't know. It just never, to me, always never felt worth it. Like, oh wow, like the damage of the explosion is not worth the damage within like a minute interval of your pet being up. The damage he deals, you know. It's like, yeah, but you get it instantly. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like I could also shoot them in the head. Like nothing is like lasting that long anyway. And then you have bosses that have such high health anyway that it's not worth it. You know, like the boss isn't going to instantly die.
Yep, I don't like sacrificing my summons either.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there's like maybe a build where you can constantly pivot between like crazy recovery and like summoning your things back. So could be one of those. Command skill, press and hold that to command Trouble to. Did we already talk about that? Wait, explode on himself. Did we see that one? Is it a different one? No, I don't think so. Same thing. Skip. Wait. Kill skill. Yeah, this is the good news is this skill tree has so many kill skills. The fucked up thing is that this skill tree is the one where she gets the ability to detonate them and instantly cast them by just doing damage instead of having to get a kill, which is good for bossing. Kill skill, Vex and her minions get overshield. That's pretty cool. It's only about 4% though, and it can be stacked 5 times, so it's not going to be the biggest amount of overshield. A little bit of a bummer. It's a new mechanic within the game where you can get overshield. I do still think you can die though. So like if you have any sort of like you die by Zane, this guy has a skill where like it lets you use his action skill permanently essentially, but you'll take damage and that can kill you even if you have overshield, I think. So a little crummy there. Also, dude, I can't wait. This is what made like Zane to me be like, oh fuck, dude. It's possible to have a Krieg build in this game because we have a roaming melee.
The Arbits has a similar option for the grenade slot, but it just detonates a shock effect centralized around the Cyber Mastiff. It doesn't sacrifice the good boy.
Yes, I like that. That's much better to me. That's nice. It just like detonates. There's a lot of things like that. That's the thing that to me looks cool about Zane is he has a lot of like weird Well, dude, Zane has a lot of weird shit that's like grenade ability, but they're in like every other skill tree. So like it's gonna be probably like until the game is fully out and like we have all the DLCs, we have all the level up enhancements. I don't think we're gonna be able to tap into like the grenade build fully, which is shitty for Zane specific. I'm curious how the Maliwan girl will be. And hopefully, I'm hoping that there's, just like Zane has like a roaming melee, I hope so badly the big actually melee guy has a roaming melee too. Alright, we got Blink Strike, command skill. Press that and hold that to command trouble to blink, strike the target enemy, dealing that much damage. But it's on a 25-second cooldown, which makes it fucking useless. Sorry, I hate it. God, I'm like, oh, that's a really good way just to position your thing on top of an enemy. How fun. That makes him comparable to the fucking clones you can already do that with. Anyways, but no. He better fucking instantly kill whomever he's close to. This damn giant cheetah that has to walk his ass to the battlefield, through the battlefield. Anyways, yes, that to me is pretty meh. Maybe it's broken. This is a constant. It could be the most broken skill ever, but just right now, doesn't seem that great to me. Anyways, Vex's minions gain increased maximum health capacity, kind of neat. You have more tankier things. This also applies to her other
G-Red
minions.
said, damn these stupid cooldowns for co-L skills like that.
Amen, man. Why do you take the fun out of it with putting a cooldown on it? Vex gain increased gun damage for a short duration after she uses the command trouble. So that's another skill. That's interesting. So in order to tap into this, I think you need to use that one thing, which that's... it's kind of useless because eventually you're going to get much better augments than just what we just talked about. So... Vex has another kill skill. This one I don't really understand. Efficiency. Vex kill skill increases her efficiency. I was watching a video with Moxie, who's another content creator, about this. He was annoying because he's like, I know what that is. And then he mentioned something that I was like, okay, but I don't know what that means. I think it might mean like elemental effectiveness maybe, or maybe that applies to everything. So that is like your effectiveness at healing, your effectiveness at... so maybe instead of saying like damage dealt, it applies to all of the status bonuses that you maybe get. I don't know. But I don't know what that means exactly. Anyways, Claw and Bang. Vex and her minions gain increased melee damage and ordnance damage. So this is kind of cool. This is where things start getting fun. So this is where I start having some hope. I just don't know what it means. So... does ordnance damage...
McFlufferkin said, I figure there's gear or other passives that help with shortening or resetting cooldowns.
Yeah.
I remember Zane having a class mod for that.
Yeah, that's where things can get fun, but we can't really speculate yet. But it would be dope as hell if they really gave us some like heavy-hitting things.
Said I read it as kill skill strength is increased by 6%. AKA Jack fucking shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound very good for it being like somewhat deep in the skill tree. But for this, what I'm curious about, well, first of all, I love this. I love that they're like, this is the problem where they're like, increases pet damage, and it's like, great. Like, so I don't get any damage, but my pet gets some damage. What the fuck? But in almost all the skill trees I've seen, they've done this where they start saying, okay, now you're scaling off of two metrics. Maybe it's gun damage and maybe it's grenade damage, or ordnance damage is what they would phrase it as. Maybe it's minion damage and maybe it's your minions are tapping into your like elemental damage. So you're like, okay, I can scale two things up at least. So it tends to be able to
Raid Nate said, hi Green, how was your week?
Good as hell.
I'm sleepy today, lol.
You missed our little hangout at the beginning. We're getting into the meat and the potatoes of the fucking skill tree raid, so lock the fuck in. Okay. But anyways, the reason why I think this is cool is because, or the reason also why I'm not sure about this is, does like ordnance damage mean that it scales off of the ordnance weapon you have equipped? So if that's the case, are you not incentivized to have like an ordnance weapon with a really high base attack damage so that then your minions just do a shit ton more damage? And this skill kind of plays really high with this character, which has a lot of those things. So, like, there's a perk we're going to get to, and eventually we get to that, where she, like, basically can equip a giga weapon, or your clone can equip one of your guns. Your clone can equip, I think, one of your, like, I don't know if it's shields or grenades, I think is what it was. And things like that.
McFlufferkin said that's 6% per point, 5 points total. So that's potentially 30% bonus for all kill skills.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Oh, I see. That's what you mean. Yeah, that could be good. That could stack up. I feel like it's going to be one of those sleeper perks where it's like, yeah, you don't realize, like, you know, Moe's had a bunch of shit in her skill tree where it was like, yeah, you get 15 more damage, and then people were like, yeah, but I think it was like OP level 8 or something. It's actually like, turns out when it like the math is done, it's like actually like 15% on whatever. It was like a crazy damage increase that made her like just like even at like level 1 was able to melt, or like level 50 playing level 1 was able to like melt crazy high enemies. But it was just that one skill that was like tuned in a weird way when you were playing at certain like scaling levels. Anyways, Overheat. While Vex has Overshield, she and her minions gain health regen by 1%. Can stack up to 3 times. 3% health regen. Okay.
G-Red said the pets already do ordnance damage innately as far as I know.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
That skill probably
buffs
just
it?
increases that.
That's pretty good.
Not based off your weapon.
It's not based off of your weapon? Okay, so then what is it based off of? Like, does everyone just have an ordnance damage stat, like, on their hub, and it just gives you, like, 5% more bonus? Or is it... I feel like it would have to be based on your weapon, maybe. No? I guess not. I guess that doesn't imply that. What do you call it? Yeah, the healing one didn't really seem that great, especially when there's a lot of, heal on kill, and if you have a bunch of roaming things that are dealing damage, you're going to constantly be tapping into that, like, lifesteal, so I feel like it's more applicable to her, because she has so many, like, pet options. In fact, every one of her skills has, like, a pet variant. Maybe they all suck ass, but still they should at least be able to heal you. Vex and her minions get can gain critical hit damage. So I think, yeah, based on this one being so deep, I'm pretty sure this, like, your pets cannot critical hit. Now this gives them the ability to, or maybe just gives them an amplified version of whatever they crit now. So maybe they crit harder. That might be right. Because I think everything's supposed to crit. So like, just like in Wonderlands, you don't have to get a headshot for your ability to your damage to crit. It's just like, it can be guaranteed if you get a headshot, but it can also happen on a body shot. Also, this is the shit that I like to see, baby. So this is, okay.
G-Red said based of the pet's ordnance base stat, which probably scales as you level.
Oh, okay, so maybe there is a base stat that they have. Okay. I could see that being a class mod. That's like, okay, you have a base amount of ordnance damage, but now we're taking your actual equipped ordnance weapon and feeding it more into that, which could be neat. But anyways, what I was going to say was, the one thing I'm not so sure about all this shit, can I find an image which is not hyper zoomed in? Damn you, J-Dolls. Also, what's the playback? It keeps showing me that there's, like, it's not zoomed in. I hate this. Anyways, what I was trying to point out, if I could just find anything. There we go, fuck. This. So I really, this would kill me. I don't think this is the case, but it kind of looks like these are paths. And I really hope you can go down this path and then go down this path. I really hope they don't pigeonhole you into only going down one path. That's probably not the case, but that would make a lot more sense for how, like, some of these seem to really sequence, and maybe through DLC expansion they'll unlock another path. I doubt it. I could see them just being all ready to rip. But anyways, this is really cool because each one of these like these bottom clusters have, like, they all synergize within each other, it seems like. Really, really well, which I'm like, hell yes, because this is what I love. So first of all, this is what I mean by, like, Red me the same way, where, like, I hate pet classes because oftentimes they take so long to get to the enemy, it's just never worth it. So this is a way, to me, unless I'm misunderstanding it, that seems kind of cool. Attuned kill skill. While Vex is attuned to cryo, meaning I believe she's holding a cryo weapon in her hands.
G-Red said I doubt is a path. Probably just a new section that unlocks once you have spent enough total points in said
Yeah,
tree.
hopefully. But I could see, because some of these things seem like they could stack on each other in a really powerful way, which maybe they want, but I could also see them being like, no, go to another skill tree. Anyways. Attuned skill, so you have a cryo weapon in your hands. Killing an enemy restores ammo and ordnance cooldown. So to me, this unlocks, like, ordnance spam, essentially. The only thing maybe that it's not as crazy, but I think it could get pretty decent cooldown. But the fact that you're getting ammo regen, that to me is like Moe's, where, like, you could start having, like, a bullet hose, giant magazine. If 10% of that your bullets are coming back, then that could keep you up. You know what I mean? It's good, and the other things in the skill tree to me make it seem much more good. So this is where we finally start getting access to actually good augments.
McFlufferkin said looks like 3 branches per tree, so you might be locked into a branch at that midway point. I believe we're not getting more skill trees like BL3 and instead new vault hunters like BL2, TPS.
Yeah, I heard a criticism against, like, why that was worse, because I always thought, like, yeah, it seems kind of neat. Like, I always want more vault hunters, but, like, I didn't hate getting another skill tree. But people were saying that, like, well, yeah, it was just shitty because, like, they came out and then you just respec your character and then you would just go and, like, test out all the new skills. So it wasn't as fun as, like, oh, fuck, there's a new character, we have to, like, grind them out. We also have so much more stuff to like rip apart and look at. 3 different skill trees. We have to slowly level them up and find how to make them strong, or etc. So to me, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can see how that's more fun than just getting them all day one and being able to level them up immediately. Anyways, another augment. Trouble now taunts enemies, making them more likely to target him. Command skill. Press this, hold this. Trouble will charge at the target, dealing melee damage in an area of effect and creating a singularity. So, again, it's dog shit that it's on a 45-second cooldown. Makes me hate it, honestly. Makes me immediately want none of it. But hey, the fact that it does add a singularity, the fact that it does do a massive amount of melee damage, if this character is tuned right, which I don't know if it will be, again, I don't know if this cat is going to be tuned high enough to make it worth playing a melee-only like thing that's going to take so much time. Yeah, it's neat. I don't know why. Like, there's so many other skills in these other skill trees that don't have a fucking duration and just seem like they give you so much value and don't have so many boxes needing to be checked. But this stupid cat is like, I'm tired. I can't do it. I need an hour break. Okay. And you're like, the fucking hollow ghost people have not given me any shit. I can deploy them everywhere. They summon weird entities around them. They take my weapon from me and kill with it. You need to knock it off, cat. Yes, all that. He's zooming in. I probably should just do this also. There we go. Also, Ordnate activation, Vex gains overshield and increased fire rate and duration. Again, I like that this is a little pocket of, like, you can kind of build her as an Ordnate damage. And it also makes sense given that Ordnate damage is scaled off of your pets, specifically this pet. So, kind of like an Ordnate pet class ability.
Agreed.
But yes.
So far, the pet tree is a big no.
Yeah, this pet tree.
McFlufferkin said that cooldown is probably a once per encounter, or a few uses in a big boss fight.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point to do.
Lone Syndicate said the cat is not locked in.
The cat is not locked in. I agree. The cat needs to knock it off. Get serious. Another kill skill. This character is like Zane on like steroids when it comes to kill skill acquisition. Killing an enemy with ordnate damage or an action skill will spawn an explosive remnant. So this is what I thought was really cool. This is like a weird. It's kind of like Blood Explosion, but it's more like a Mars skill, which basically like when you kill something or dealt damage, it like put a little orb that could go and kill shit. But never mind. It's on a 6-second cooldown. But it theoretically could be a decent amount of damage. Anyways, but every single time, I'm actually really curious how this works if you... She has a skill that, like, just by shooting an enemy and not killing them and getting a crit, you can detonate a kill skill. I wonder if this will spawn a shard. I mean, it's still limited because it's 6 seconds, but there's more skills that are exactly like this, but for radiation. So I wonder if you could make like a weird, like you're just a living sentry, where like you're shooting and then you're just having all these little discs.
Lone Syndicate said compared to that 45-second cooldown, that seems like a steal.
Still fair. Everything's relevant.
Glowing Fetus said that CD is to prevent the infinite ammo cold damage procs via that.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe we'll see if the radiation one is also like that, like a little bit shitty. Vex gains increased ordnate damage, increases minion damage. What is this? Why is this the thing? Oh, is this just another skill? Okay. Okay, so she gains ordnate damage. A percentage of Vex's ordnate damage increases minion damage. Okay. So again, this is the thing I'm wondering, like if Red's right about like we all have like a base level of ordnate damage, or if the calculation is done based on that and then your ordnate weapon, like the ordnate weapon's base attack. Probably better just to think if we all have a base amount of like 10% ordnate damage and we get enough skills and we get like 20% and then it's able to take 20% of whatever that is and give it to your minions. Well, kind of cool. Kind of neat. I don't like how he's zooming in so much. I wish I could see the whole thing. Yeah. Vex and her minions gain increased maximum overshield capacity and overshield duration. It's weird because she has a lot of like, I don't know, she has a lot of like health related stuff, which I don't know if it'd be better to like the best to go for overshield. While Vex has overshield, she and her minions gain increased damage dealt. That's actually pretty good. Kind of 3 times. That's 30 damage, 30 shield, duration, pretty decent, and damage dealt. Also, that's actually not bad at all. This is a pretty good skill, especially if it stacks 3 times. Shiver. Vex gains increased cryo damage and cryo status effect. Yeah, because this is the cryo skill tree. It's benefiting you from only holding the one thing. But this, gang, we get our capstone baby for the left column. It's also crazy that we're getting 3 capstones, kind of. We're probably getting like, sometimes there's like this, which is like another-ish capstone. Anyways, but Trouble Bubble, baby. Our pet Trouble now gains an overshield whenever he deals damage. How much is it? What's the interval? Okay. While Phase Pillar is active, Trouble gains an elemental aura. I guess that's our action skill, dealing ordinate damage over time to nearby enemies. We've seen this one. We already knew about this one. It is a decent amount of overshield. Yeah, 80% of all damage dealt. That makes him like hella tanky, and now he's doing a shit ton of damage. That's not bad. Yeah, it's interesting how it's going to work with like, yeah, because theoretically you have an incentive to use a cryo here. So that AoE will just lock down every enemy, deal damage, and he'll gain overshield. Kind of cannibalizes itself a little bit. Because if you're using ice, that's usually freezing people. And when they're frozen, they can't attack you. So you're not really benefiting the gain from the overshield necessarily. But I don't know. Still seems neat. That's not a bad capstone. It's not very exciting for me.
Said Phase Familiar is the action skill for this trait.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what that was. What is... Did we skip some stuff? Or is this the other skill that I missed? Oh, no, this is the next skill. Okay, so this is the middle column, which I thought I remember being a little bit more interesting. Elemental Essence. Vex gains increased elemental damage. Double this effect when the action skill is active. Elemental damage plus 4.
Raid said, man, there really is a lot of skills per tree Gs.
There's so much, man. This is one of those things where, like, yeah, eventually I'm going to lose steam, and I'm just going to say, here's what I remember. Here's my... Or we might just skip the bottom and move to the specialization, because they're kind of more interesting. I also wish we just could, like, yeah, click around. Like, usually Gearbox has, like, a skill tree editor, but they haven't done it yet, so damn them. Okay, so this is actually an augment. Trouble gains a chance to critically hit with all attacks. So, yeah, okay, so I guess that implies that, yeah, your summons can't critical hit then. Which is weird, because there's this skill, which... Weird, because it says your minions can critical hit. There's like a... Maybe just meant... I don't know why you'd be able to unlock this now and then unlock this. I don't know. Maybe that just increases the percentage chance, and then you can actually get your minions to do it. Or maybe Trouble is not considered a minion, but is considered something else. Weird. Anyways, command skill. Press that to command Trouble to summon a phase dagger overhead, and it will fire at nearby enemies, dealing melee damage. Let's see the cooldown, guys. It's 35 fucking seconds. Kill yourself. Kidding, Twitch? It's a joke? What the F is that? That is some bullshit. What a fucking lame thing, too. Again, it better do, like, cataclysmic damage, Trouble critical hit chance, phase dagger damage, 23, phase dagger max stack. Okay, I guess you could have 5 stacks. Oh, wait, I guess it lasts for 15 seconds, so we just... Okay.
McFlufferkin said 3 trees, action skills, 4 augments, 3 branches, and 3 capstones per tree. A lot of ways to provide player expression, even with 3 to 4 of the same character.
Yeah, and there's another 2 characters coming down the pipeline. They're the same thing. So, like, if one of these doesn't scratch your, tickle your fancy, whew, you got a weird itch. But yeah, I guess it's not as bad considering it's lasting 15 seconds, so the cooldown is not that bad. It just seems like a weird limitation that, like, again, why do we have to have downtime when I've seen the other character's skill trees, or even her skill trees, that don't have downtime, and you're like, well, what the fuck? Again, it's like they're like, this thing is doing it for you, so that makes it, like, overly good. And I'm like, no, people want to play. If anything, you need to make it more powerful so that there's a reason for you to, like, want to watch a complete fucking obliteration show. Why would I want to watch a subpar damage scratching cat when I could just shoot someone in the face and explode their head, you know? Minion damage increased. Minion damage gains critical hit chance against any part of the enemy. So that's kind of nice. I just don't understand what that all means. Because there's a skill at the beginning that says, like, gives your minions the ability to crit. Then there's a skill that does it more, I guess. Maybe it increases the percentage chance that you can crit. And then there's this one, which lets you crit on anything, which is kind of cool. Does that mean Trouble needs to hit someone in the face? Oh, no, because they always do that, right? You can crit already on the body. Right. This just increases the chance of you hitting someone in the body and then getting a crit. Got it. Infernal Sum. Vex and her minions deal increased critical hit damage to enemies below 66 health. I always hate this fucking thing in every game I play. It's not good enough. It's I mentioned in my Doom video, the same thing where it's just like, you get health recovery up to 50% in the daytime. And you're like, fuck you. It's just such a weird, non-interesting thing. Same thing with this one, where you're like, maybe this will increase, but like, if I don't want something that, like, turns off eventually or turns on halfway through. It's just annoying.
McFluffican said trouble is always active, so the augments having varied cooldowns makes sense.
I guess.
Pretty sure Flak had similar balance limitations for pet augments.
I know, but this is kind of my point, is like Flak was unarguably, I think, one of the weakest characters in the game, and also like the least played. And you can look at Mose, you look at Amara, and they're all fucking giga powerful with no weird restraint, you know? Like, if there's anything we've learned from the previous games, Axton, Roland, Flak, stop making the pet classes worse or like weaker. Like, they're the least played. Try to make them worth playing. Again, this idea of like, but you're not having to do anything, so they can't be good. Bitch, I had the Mose build with the grenades. Zane had like his fucking clone. Like, it's just weird picking shit where they're like, you in particular fucking stop, and everyone else gets to play, and you're like, well, why? Like, what is the reason with this? And then modders come and like turn off all the switches, and they're like, this still feels fine. This didn't break the game. Sacrificial essence.
G-Red said yay. Gearbox is fucking terrible at pet class balance, it seems.
Yes, pet class, I agree,
Lone
for sure.
Syndicate said, I only find skills where it's like do more damage when enemy is at X amount of health. Only good in turn-based
Yeah,
combat.
turn-based that may be, because it's a lot more like you're trying to math out everything, right? Sacrificial Essence kill skill. Vex and her minions gain increased damage dealt. It's pretty huge. It is, actually that's really huge, because it's a stacking skill. But Vex gains increased damage taken. You will always take more damage than you deal, and it stacks up to 10 times. It has a long duration at least, but you gonna get clapped. Stacks are lost when you enter fight for your life, or you just die. Which I imagine if you just jump off the edge of a map, you'll just instantly die and lose all your stacks. Again, I mean, it's nice. It depends on like how aggro your like creature is, like how much pressure does he take off of you. But otherwise, that's a decent amount of damage taken. Reawakened. Whenever Vex and her minions critical hit, there is a chance to restore action skill cooldown. Kind of neat. Plays into the initial thing of like stacking crit with this weird playstyle, or this subtree. But now we're getting into the big meat and potatoes. Tail Whip. Trouble gains the ability to do a Tail Whip, dealing damage in an area over two hits. This kind of synergizes with this one, where she pulls a singularity in, then she freezes them, hopefully, because you're holding the gun, and then she does a Tail Whip to do some more damage, and she's critting like crazy if you don't go down both of these, which I don't know if you have enough skill trees to go down 2 columns in the same skill tree. I don't know. Or I guess it's not, I guess it's like sub-columns, I guess.
McFlufferkin said Flak was the boss nuker and was nerfed because of it. Zane sucked without the decoy and eventual shoulder cannon. Mose was better outside her mech, and Amara wasn't a great melee variant of Sirens.
Yeah, I guess I just like, I followed, what do you call it, Borderlands 2, or 3, sorry, throughout its life cycle, and I always remember, like, all the classes, especially Zane, Mose, and Amara, always seemed to be pretty good. And like every time I'd watch a Flak build, it was like severely lacking something. Whether like it had great damage output, it was right for bossing, but like if you did mobbing, you just get fucking eviscerated. And there's other builds that were great for mobbing, like you just constantly summon like hawks essentially, and they just nuke everything. But then when it comes to bossing, you have to like constantly do like weird shit to like weaken them with like a piss grenade and like hit them with another thing. And I just never remember Flak being comparable. Like he was always like a character that had to take such a loss in some way to make up the diff, and it never was worth it. No other character really had to do that. Like everyone always had like their golden gem of a build, and I don't really remember seeing that for Flak. I remember he was good at bossing, but not talking about like the universal all kind of thing. Like Chain Zane was really good. Amara with her like elemental detonation thing was really good. Mose I think was just always like A+. Never I think got to like super crazy like one-shotting bosses territory often. But she was just like the best overall I think character in the game. But yeah. What is this one? Trouble. Oh, this is the capstone, I think, or the ending skill tree. Double Trouble. Trouble now gains a chance to create an illusion near the enemy when dealing damage. Critical hits have double the chance. And that's kind of neat. It makes sense. What does an illusion do? Illusions become badasses, while phase familiar is active. Oh, okay. So basically, yeah, this is actually kind of neat. So you summon. Does it have a cooldown? I guess it has the cooldown of you activating. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh wow, that's actually a really cool capstone. So you now have the ability to spawn in every single time you critical hit another Trouble. I don't think they count as like the core Trouble, so I don't know if you had the other skill that adds singularities. I don't know if that would they would all do singularities. Probably not. Probably the core Trouble is the same, and then you have like a spectral Trouble, probably smaller.
Gnawing Fetus said, S max of 3 illusions.
Yeah, three, but 3 is, to me, is plenty. Like, depending on if he's not scaled to shit. But 3 to me seems plenty if you can always keep it up. So you constantly keep shooting, you always have these roaming, and then when you activate your like phase lock, then they become badass. So they become like, now you have 3 heavily powered things. My only issue with this is whenever I see a skill like this, it makes me terrified.
McFlufferkin said as it was, the initial concepts for the BL3 characters missed the mark, pet class, tech operative, mech soldier and beast master, most of which failed to achieve their respective
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what
fantasies.
you're saying. You should say, yeah, the initial thing was, yeah. In fact, Mose is more of a pet class than any of them, honestly. I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, sorry. The reason why I hate stuff like this is because it basically massively increases the skill ceiling or the power gain of this character, which I've never seen in a game a developer just say, unless it's Outer Worlds or some shit, where they're just like, that's awesome, do that. You got all the way down the skill tree, you deserve a reward. Instead, it's like, well, because you can get to that level, we're going to nuke down everything just so that like it brings the top a little down. And you're like, God damn you, stop it, you know? But this capstone I could see, so long as your beast is like able to tap into shit and you're able to do a lot of damage. If you go through the singularity skill tree, you're amplifying ordinate damage by a lot, which will make your beast do even more damage. I can kind of see that cooking, you know what I mean? Shocking attunement. Action skill. So this is the other column, by the way. This is the one I thought I didn't really love as much. Maybe I'm misremembering, but shock attunement. While Vex is attuned to shock, she gains increased movement and gun damage. Whatever. Kind of neat. It's not the most exciting to me. Beast mode. Command skill. Press and hold this. So all of these are basically like Flax, like mark a target mode. Become immune to damage. And gain increased minion attack speed and movement speed for duration.
said, I like the look of that capstone and would probably be my choice for this tree.
Yeah, me too. I agree. It kind of feeds into itself in a weird way. But I was going to say, well, how much is the cooldown? Is 25 seconds, duration is 10, so it's like a 15-second cooldown or whatever. Maybe. Kill skills extend. Oh, never mind. Okay, that's huge. That's actually a much better skill than I thought. Okay, so you get amplified attack speed. 30% is decent. And a decent movement speed. Huh. And, yeah. It lasts, it says it only lasts like 25 seconds, but, oh, I wonder if that's how the skill works. If the skill works like the cooldown is hit whenever it ends, then that's a little shitty. But if the cooldown starts immediately when you activate it, then that's kind of good. But I have a feeling that it's probably, as soon as it ends, that's when it's going to be like, regardless, it's going to be 25. Kill skill, it theoretically can last probably most damage encounters, and 25 seconds is about the one-to-one gameplay movement, so that's not the worst, but it's still, again, wiser limitation there. Kill skill, Vex minion gain shock damage, kind of neat. Seems like it stacks pretty well. When Vex deals gun damage, there is a chance to spawn a Sparking Remnant. See? And this one's on a 2-second cooldown. That's funny, because that's exactly what Nong said. Good shit for Nong, for knowing that. Nong said the reason why it's on a 6-second cooldown, the ice one, is because of some sort of cryo stack. But this one's on a 2-second cooldown, which is much more fun. On a lower chance to detonate, though. And it also scales off gun damage, which her skill tree doesn't really seem like it buffs. It mostly buffs an ordinate damage and such. So powerful, but probably not crazy. It will seek out enemies and deal damage. Of course, it also allows your minions to do shock damage, too, which is cool. Dealing shock damage to minions. I'm not sure what that last part said. Here we go. Kill skill. Vex and her minions gain lifesteal for a set duration of 16 seconds. That's long as shit. It stacks up to 3 times. And that seems pretty fucking good. Also, it has 5 points in it, so it actually can get pretty nutty. 5%, or probably more like 8 or something, 9%, is still pretty good. And your parents are going to be healing like crazy. That's also lifesteal. Also, that can be, again, all of the kill skills you guys need to times by 3. Because you're able to get another 3 stacks, unless I'm messing up the math, which I probably am. But it sounds like they're significantly better if you go down the like, Angel of Death skill tree. Infusion. When Vex uses her repair kit, which is the new healing kits, her minions gain bonus damage and have a longer duration for that damage. Kind of neat. It's a little whatever. It's kind of like a skill that I don't know how good it is. I don't really like wasting my materials when I go into a boss fight until I have to. Trouble will now... Okay, so this is the capstone. What's the previous one? There we go. Vex gains increased shock damage, and same as the other one, where it basically buffs up your whatever the capstone is, like forcing whatever element you're forced to use. Anyways, capstone. Hopefully it's as spicy as the other one. Unsealed. Trouble will now mark his current target, causing them to take increased gun damage. I don't know if there's enough gun damage amps to make gun damage seem really viable here. Gain a stack of unsealed for a duration. Grants health regen, damage.
McFlufferkin said, oh, there's an anniversary recap event in Z's that only has a few more days left. No need to do it on stream, but hope you catch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Also has some neat info about various personal milestones.
Ooh. I hope I don't miss that. I always check the events, and I don't know if I see one that was about to go away. Shit. I must have missed it. I'm not excited for this one. I mean, it seems neat, but I don't know. It's always one of those things where, like, marking the target, it's just not a very exciting skill tree. It might be the most broken thing on the planet, but, like, you tell me I can summon 3 other troubles, and then this one is like, yeah, but they mark a target, you get I guess, a health buff and shit. You deal more damage. It's actually a significant amount of damage. It's 30 damage gain. But, like, make it more sexy. Have it summon some shit. Have it do a thing. Have it have, like, a crazy aura that, like, I don't know, something. It's like Jacob's pistols, which are awesome, but like the least cool thing that has the highest scaling in the game, which I feel like it should be the opposite. Like the most cool looking thing should have the highest scaling in the game so that it shines a light on it, you know?
G Red said, yay, not interesting.
Yes. So we're going to probably increase the velocity of looking at this one. I actually might skip some skills, but I have to use the washroom.
Gnawing Fetus said that's the oh shit, that dies button.
Yeah, but to me it's just not as exciting, you know? Like, again, that's what makes Borderlands and, like, the search for loot so nice, is that, like, you might have a medium build, but if you get the right, like, class skill, you get the right weapons, you get the right, anointment, whatever that thing is, that, like, artifact, then you're, like, you can take that normal build, make it actually good, and then it's also fun to play, and not just, like, a weird thing. I gotta watch my back. Check out yourself. Actually, maybe look at some of these skills if you want.
McFlufferkin said this seems like a mini snowball effect for trouble, harder to kill, higher damage and stacks 3 times, so more of a tanky brute cat.
Oh, alright. So the standards are her weird, like, Reaper of Death build, to me, looks less, like, splashy, loud, obnoxious, flashy. I was meant to say not splashy, flashy. But I also thought it had the most power in it. It has by far the most, like, craziness. So this one, kill skill, restoring medkits, the percentage chance. So your medkits, I guess, are on, like, timers. Kind of nice to know.
Lone Syndicate said, I'm back. What I miss any good skills?
Nothing miss. We didn't really get anything. The last one was not that great to me.
I don't like this constant zooming into the skills thing, now that it's not paused long.
Yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little rough. We do have there's a video from Moxie that we could probably also check out, which I don't think he zooms in. Vex gains increased splash damage. Yes, this is also her, like, weird elemental skill tree. I think this is the one where it's mostly kinetic. Anyways, double this effect and action skill cooldown. You put 5 points in there, so actually it's kind of neat. Increases her splash damage. I don't think she has too many things that, like, amplify that, like give her some sort of bonus based on splash damage, but we'll see. Attunement gained. Attunement skill. I don't know what these mean. Attune skill. While Vex is attuned to, I see. Kinetic. It's whenever you're holding a weapon that happens to have an element. She gains increased lifesteal and reload. Ooh, that's actually really good. Okay, so if you're not going to use an element, she's going to give you healing. So every non-elemental weapon, if you have this skill, will let you... Interesting. Why is it on a 6-second cooldown? So can I switch to this, activate the attunement, and then switch to another weapon, and I'd still have this while using an elemental? Or every time I switch a weapon, I attune it maybe? I'm not sure. I'm curious how that really works. Anyways, lifesteal and reload speed is insane. Lifesteal this early is insanely
G-Red
good.
said minigun skill. Nice.
Yeah. I was going to say, getting lifesteal this early in a skill tree is insane. And it's also not a terrible amount. It's 2%, which is going to stack up to 5 times. That's insane. And the reload speed seems good. Jeez. Attunement skill, connect damage with that. Okay, Grave Sight, a kill skill, another kill skill. Vex gains increased critical damage and weapon handling. Pretty good. Any stacking skill you always got to be on the lookout for because it's usually a crazy buff. When Vex uses Repair Kit, she and her minions gain increased movement speed and fire rate for a short duration. Fire rate 5, fire rate will be 6. Not a bad little bump, also a good duration, and not a cooldown. How good? In fact, they synergize. You recover your stims faster, and guess what? They give you a giant boost of healing, and also movement speed, and also fire rate, and also apparently heal your, can do other things, like there's another skill tree where it heals your allies or some shit, or gave them more damage. That's cool. No cooldowns. We love that. All right, wait, I'm not saying that. Instead of casting the phase explosion, which is her action skill. By the way, her action skill is you just going into Phoenix mode and you can throw this orb, and I believe you do
McFlufferkin said
damage.
Her being a Reaper-themed siren, being heavy on kill skills makes sense, but perhaps everyone has an abundance.
I was about to say her pet class to me had also 6 fucking kill skills in there. So this character I think is even more than the other guy has so much. And I think it makes sense when you see that she has the one that stacks and then the one that easily gives you kill skills based on just shooting. And I think the skill tree is the one that has the both of those. I think this is the bridge that's going to connect either or. Which I say that, but the 2 pet class do synergize. I just don't know if they synergize as much as all the. Phase explosion. Vex launches a guess. So whenever you activate the Angel of Death's secondary fire, which happens when you have it, it deals ordnance damage, which is pretty cool, and passes through enemies. That's actually substantially good. I wonder if that. Yeah, I wonder how that works. Yeah, it probably doesn't bore or anything like that, but it's still neat. Decent amount of damage. No cooldown. That's awesome. So you can keep spamming them. How her skill tree works is the more gun damage you deal, the more it recharges your ability to throw more orbs, which is kind of cool. Very neat. Very neat. All right. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. Gun damage is skill critical hit. Apply bleed with kinetics. Okay, so yeah, this was a big one for Moxie when I was watching him talk about it, which is basically this is going to give her, who she's not very elemental, but this is going to give her the ability to have a pretty seemingly strong dot, like a bleed effect. So it's wherever using a kinetic weapon, it's automatically going to apply bleed onto enemies, which can seemingly stack a pretty decent amount. It's 5 out of 5, and it looks like it's going to be a 25% chance for it to tick, and it's going to do 9% of your total gun damage per second. So I think that's going to stack up a pretty substantial amount. So that's pretty good, and has max stacks of 20. That sounds nutty. Because it's every single time I shoot an enemy, I have a chance of applying a bleed, and then I can stack bleed chances up to 20%. That seems nuts. I kind of see what he means. That's the first damage over time skill I've seen that seems powerful and not you do more damage with fire, I guess. The fact that you can maybe reapply that is what nutty. Unless it's per enemy limitation, per enemy you have affected with that element. I don't know. Anyways, we got another augment. Did I miss the previous augment? Oh, I guess I did.
9 Fetus said use
okay.
a chain gun with that and GG.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that sounds like a good-ass skill. Anyways, Energy Vampire. Vex deals status effect damage to nearby enemies over time and gains overshield for each enemy affected by a status effect, and bleed counts. Wait, what? Those 2 skills seem nutty. So you're applying a bleed that's stackable. Now you're also getting an overshield for all the enemies affected by the status effect.
said interesting that kinetics now have a status. Guess that makes sense since there's not much more they can expand upon with fire, shock, corrosive, cryo, radiation, slag, explosive.
I was gonna say explosive to me makes some sense for some bleed. Just tears your body apart, you know what I mean? Yeah, this one, so again, you still have to apply a lot of elements to people, but if you have your pets and they're also doing stuff, or you're summoning sprites that apply electro and the other skill trees, then that's possible. Anyways, kill skill to boot with all that. Honestly, the first one's fine. Kill skill, killing an enemy with incarnate is while it's active. Your alt will grant you a stack of energy vampire, increasing the status effect damage. Wow! So you already have a pretty seemingly powerful status effect with bleed. By you activating incarnate, it doubles down on you doing even more status effect damage. Stacks are lost though when you end your incarnate, but I think you can keep incarnate going with one of these skills too. That seems pretty good, man. 2% overshield per enemy thing for every 0.5 seconds. Wow, so you keep recovering it. Wow. The only thing that sucks about bleed is it's on a 4-second cooldown, I think. So it's good. I could see how it's not as good, but if you find another way just to keep reapplying an element, then that's always up and stacking. Those are the first 2 skills where I'm like, that seems real high leverage. Grave impairment kill skill. Vex and her minions gain increased gun damage and duration. Kind of neat. So this is funny, which it mentions, which is Vex and her minions gain increased gun damage because one of her minions in the clone skill tree or ghost skill tree can use a gun. So that's why it's also giving it to her. But I don't imagine it would give it to the others who can't use guns. But it would give them duration, so it's not a completely worthless skill. Vex increases action skill duration and attunement.
McFlufferkin said explosive also is mostly splash damage now, too, rather than its own element.
Yeah.
A change they made in BL3, since everything can explode, elemental or not.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was going to say, this one's weird, because I don't know enough about attunement, but I guess I wonder how you detonate attunement.
I wonder what the AoE range is of Energy Vampire. Crazy if it's large. Just applying status effect damage near enemies by just standing near them.
Well, yeah, especially if you're also like, if you can, because I think it was elemental. If you apply other elements another way, and even if not, you still have her ult, which I think isn't considered an elemental explosion that's like that. But I wonder what her attunement is. Like, apparently, your attunement is not always up, which I thought it was. I guess it's whenever you switch to a weapon, maybe, or something like that. Maybe you have to hold the weapon for enough time because it says attunement duration, which has gotten me left not so sure. Anyways, material compounds. Vex gains increased kinetic damage and kinetic status effect damage, which will also apply to bleed, I imagine. So that's kind of like, so it seems like this class has a lot of bleed stuff, which seems like, I don't know, I don't feel you could go down the skill tree and not get that. Vex kill skill, yes, so this is the skill that's broken. This is the skill that everyone was saying, which was like, what? This is not even a capstone, dude. This is like you can reach this within 5 intervals. Grave Power. It's a passive skill. Vex's kill skills gain an increased max stack by 1 up to 3 investment. That's crazy. There's skill trees that like give you a stack bot ability that increases like the amount of minion damage you do.
Said, I think it might attune when swapping weapons, since trouble also changes to match your active weapon.
Okay, so maybe you're always swapping. Okay, some of the gameplay, it seems like he stays with whatever element he's on, but maybe not. Maybe like you say, you gotta keep swapping back and forth. And maybe like when you switch, actually that makes sense. Yeah, because again, there's an example they gave where like it's on up for 6 seconds, so you could switch to a kinetic weapon, get the buff, switch back to the weapon that's better for you, and then maybe it's fire, and then just shoot the shit out of everyone, and you'd still be getting the lifesteal from that one kinetic specific perk. But yeah, the fact that you're getting 3 stack bots on top of this, it just makes all of the other kill skills we've seen in every other skill tree seem so insane to where like, I don't know how you're not going to go down this skill tree and get this. Even if you get like 3 kill skills, I think it being able to stack an extra 3 times on whatever the highest investment you put it at is going to be insane. Again, this is like, to me, it's funny because you oftentimes see this in builds, especially in Borderlands, where there's like a skill tree that seems like the gas and all the other skill trees are vehicles that fund whatever you're going to do. But this one definitely seems like gas. Vex grenade damage, a gun damage gains critical hit chance against enemy parts, any part of the enemy.
Said, isn't this for her non-minion tree?
Yes.
I don't think she can invest into more than 1 tree, at least not in base game.
Well, I think she could. I think you can invest into this skill tree, go to another skill tree, and get down. Maybe not go to the very capstone, but I thought that's how BL3 worked. At 50 points, I thought you were able to go down 1 skill tree fully and get to like the 4th tier, but you were never able to fully max out that skill, so maybe you're only able to get 2. But I mean, the pet skill trees were good. I don't know if they were as good as that or the other skills that she has, which are pretty good. Like one of them, I believe, in this skill tree is her just summoning Reapers. So why not go down this skill tree?
Red said, I hope this tree also has a skill to infect nearby enemies with a status explosion when killed.
It does. It's the one that has Reapers. Not only does it have that, Red, I believe it also, you summon Reapers from the enemies you kill with the status effect. So, and that's a minion. Anyways, gun damage, critical. So yeah, you can get, it increases the chance of getting body shot crits, which is cool. Attunement skill. Well, Vex is attuned. Wait, is this the... Is this the different? It is. Okay, so now we're into the cluster in the bottom left, which I believe is this one is radiation centered. Attunement skill. I wonder if radiation still buffs up attack damage or melee, or like amplifies damage taken. Anyways, Vex, if she's attuned to radiation, she gains increased splash damage and max shield capacity. This effect persists for a duration of attunement switch. Oh, that's kind of cool. So it lasts a little bit longer than everything else. Gives some splash damage. Can stack up to 5 times. It's actually not a bad amount of splash damage and shield capacity. Not bad. I also think that overshield is a factor of how much maximum shield you have, because it's a percentage based on that. So having more main shield will just give you more tankiness overall, which is pretty cool. Iron Maiden, baby. This is an actually attunement skill. Let's hope it's not as boring as some of the other ones in the pet skill tree, or the cat skill tree. Phase Explosion and Eldritch Blast, which is her pop, restore shield for each and every enemy it hits, and deals increased damage based on Vex's current shield. Weird, so it's kind of like a shield build. Huh. It's not a bad one. Good survivability. Amplified damage. Very neat. Conjuration. Passive skill. Vex gains increased gun damage when she is full health, and also shield, and also gains damage reduction the less health she has. So you become more resilient as you're about to die. Very good. Probably just makes you have like a net ton more health and a net ton more damage as you're shielded. Very neat. What is this one? When Vex deals gun damage, there is a chance to spawn a radioactive hazard, dealing AoE damage over time. There's no cooldown. That's so fucked up, dude. This skill up here, it says that like the more enemies you have affected increases the damage you deal. And now this is just detonating. There's no cooldown. It's a 5% chance, but if you invest 5 out of 5 skills in there, I think it's always going to be a 5% chance. But still, it's just dealing gun damage. It's not even like radiation damage. It's doing any gun damage. You then spawn hazards, which do mass AoE hitting on everyone. And it has a duration of 8 seconds. What does that mean? Does that mean it puts like a pool of acid on the ground of radiation damage, or like a fog? Regardless, it's up for 8 seconds. That's insane. Again, it's just a gasoline. This one's a little tuned high, especially compared to the Vitamin class we just seen, where it's like, oh yeah, it pulls a singularity, and it applies ice or whatever. Oh yeah, you get increased critical chance, and I'm like, this one just seems like you become fucking Chernobyl. Yeah, I mean, and also they're bleeding as well as fucking radioactive. That seems like a lot, man. I'm in. I like it. I feel like this one is very tempting, just because it seems like you're going to be able to eat. Restoration Tonic. When Vex uses Repair Kit, she also gains health regen and shield regen. Sorry, shield regen for a duration. Kind of neat. Double tap into that. Full Moon. Vex gains action skill cooldown rate and ordnance skill cooldown rate on the fullness of her shields. It was almost cool. We almost got him. It's okay. It's not terrible. We do have ways to get our shield back, which is fine. Just not as spicy. Maybe the capstone is going to make it all come together. Shit. Vex gains increased damage with radiation, because that's what this one is mainly doing. Neat. Status effect damage, all that stuff. Very cool. This one. Desecration. The capstone. Phase Explosion and Eldritch Horror creates a hazard dealing damage over time for a duration. Jesus. Eldritch Blast, yeah, so this is the thing. Eldritch Blast is no longer a hit scan weapon, or not, it's a projectile weapon. It's now a homing projectile weapon that will shoot airborne enemies after a short delay, dealing damage to airborne enemies, but there's no cooldown, right? So yeah, this is just your Eldritch Blast already has an innate cooldown of you shoot people to get it back. That's kind of neat. I like that. That one seems strong AF. That whole skill tree seemed pretty nutty. I'm in. Yeah. Also, I like Eldritch Blast. It's kind of boring. It's just like a little ball you throw. So the fact that this is a thing is neat. Also, if you couple that with like grenades that you can quickly throw it really fast, I could see her just being like, honestly, kind of like Moe's, but with like a slower interval, because she has heat-seeking projectiles now that will debuff people, cause a bunch of shit to happen. Seems pretty powerful. Anyways, her middle skill tree for her Angel of Death. Guys, we might only be able to do her this stream, and then next week we'll do Zane. Okay, even though Zane is the one actually I'm a little bit more interested in some capacity.
Red said only if it hits an airborne enemy. So situational.
Oh, it's only when you hit the airborne. Oh, I thought it was all of the time. Okay, so I guess it's homing on your weapons and does a little more damage, I guess. kind of neat, not as spicy.
McFlufferkin said supposedly capstones and augments can be swapped on the fly, so you're able to invest into the passive and kill skills and simply equip unlocked augments and capstones with the rows unlocked.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that kind of player though. I feel like I don't do that that often. I also don't like that. Like a build to me would not be as good as a build that didn't require you to swap around. You know, some people have like builds where they're like, you know, I gotta pause, equip this weapon, equip this class skill tree, and then shoot the boss. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want it to work. You know what I mean? Even though it works less good, but it works all the time, that same level. That's why I'm like, yeah, I think that's why I like Mo's a lot. Drink Full. Whenever Vex deals gun damage, she gains a stack of Drink Full, which increases her fire rate. I love these, dude. Oh boy, howdy, 50 motherfucking stacks. But wait, gun damage dealt, it's still crazy. Still crazy. All you have to do is gun damage, which you can easily do if you have a gun with a bunch of bullet hose. Also, doesn't she have shit that like... I thought there was something like that her things also count as gun damage. I wonder if your status effects also count as gun damage to some extent. Anyways, regardless, that's a lot of fucking stacks. So if you have a gun that can like unload, you're gonna burn through that magazine fast. Yeah, I feel like the limitation of this will be your ammo regen, which I don't know if she has any repair in this skill tree that does that. I think she has one in another skill tree, but I thought it was too deep. Regardless, still very cool.
G-Red said same. I don't like swapping things around often.
Yes.
I want what I want, and I want it to be effective.
Yes, to work. Do the thing. Witchetty Trigger Finger, that's a weird name. Dealing damage with Eldritch Blast or Phase Explosion will reload Vex's current... This is, yeah, she just... Actually, wow, never
McFlufferkin
mind.
said, which further makes me think we still stick to one tree at a time. Given the 3 capstone branches, I could be WR5, but I haven't seen evidence to the contrary.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, actually, I'm not sure, because I thought I seen Moxie invest in 2 skill trees. Like a little bit here and a little bit there, maybe? Could be wrong, but anyways. I could be misremembering. But this is the problem. This is a solution. So we have a bullet hose skill, and now we have the ability to swap. If you have 2 giant chain guns that have a fucking crazy magazine, and you're constantly... Is there a limitation on this? Dealing damage with Eldritch Blast, Phase Explosion will reload Vex's current weapon. Okay, so it's limited by the phase thing. Increases gun damage for the duration. Stacks of Witchetty Finger persist even after... Oh, actually, never mind. Wait, what? Oh, that's a permanent fucking stack bot then. So you use your class skill, you do this, and then it immediately gives you the ability to swap. No, it says stack duration. Okay. Oh, I guess it's just saying it. Okay, never mind. I got too excited. Yeah, it ends, but it lasts whatever the hell 15 duration is. Maybe 15 seconds. How long did it stack? I guess 15 seconds. I guess I would say. So yeah, and honestly, I could see you're getting your cooldown back in that interval, 15 seconds. That's not that bad. It definitely would take care of you for like the run up, so you wouldn't have to reload a lot. It seems like. Is this Vex's skill damage, critical chance against any part? You know, we already read that. I'm getting lost a little bit. Why is it jumping around? Keep in mind, yeah.
G-Red said not a fan of skills that remove reloads, or even ones that speed them up. Especially if the reload animation is cool looking.
Yeah, but if you mag dump your whole weapon in like a minute, you can get real tired uploading that, reloading that weapon. Vex gains increased magazine size. Of course he does, or she does. Also increases speed, switch speed. It just plays into everything she's already building for. Doubling this effect when you have action skill cooldown. Cool. So it gives you even more mag dump capacity. Chance to trigger kill skill when... Yes, this was it. This was the big puma. So not only do you have that one skill that basically gets you to be able to have double the stack of kill skills, but now you have the chance of doing detonating a kill skill whenever you get a critical hit.
McFlufferkin said anarchy gauge intensifies.
Yeah, anarchy gauge intensifies. But yeah, man, to me this is like... It sucks. Actually, this one's fairly deep, so it's not as broken as I thought. Because but this one basically allows like kill skill builds to function against bossing, which yeah. But again, especially with I think there's other skills that basically give it so like you can crit on anything easier.
G-Red said, "Damn, this skill is cool."
Yeah. That one is magnifique. Kill skills. Vex and her minions gain elemental damage for a duration. Elemental damage is it's a stack bot too. Holy shit. It's funny because like you have to go. It makes sense. I feel like eventually they're going to expand the skill trees. This skill tree is going to be paramount to the minion skill trees, especially her gunner skill tree. Because if it's stacking elemental damage, you're able to tap into all those kill skills. You're also able to tap into 3 extra kill skills, and there's a lot of like companions, recover health, deal more damage, ordinate damage stacking kill skills that we've seen in the pet class that would absolutely devour this, I think. But that seems strong as shit. Vibe check. Eldritch, is it the capstone? Vibe check is not the capstone. No, it is. It is the capstone, sorry. Eldritch Blast is now a charge skill. Hell yes. Okay, so instead of so you basically have 3 charges, which I imagine as you're shooting you're gaining extra charges, so you're never wasting. Activating Eldritch Blast. Wait, is it the same thing? I think it's the same thing. Eldritch Blast consumes all charges to rocket on hitting an enemy for each charge consumed. Okay, so you have 3 charges, and when you consume them all, it creates like a ping pong ball. Eldritch Blast cooldown reduction for gun damage is delayed. Okay, I wonder if it's saying you have 3 charges and now they ping pong off of enemies, and you get more charges because when you shoot enemies with a gun. Yeah, because cooldown reduction from gunshots, which is how you recover your Eldritch Blast, is now doubled. Honestly, I kind of dig this one a little more than the other one. I mean, the other one seems stronger probably for endgame and ad clear, but like you can't detonate status effects, it seems like easily when you're fighting against bosses, so it limits your like... Yeah, this one to me seems much more overall good, depending on how good Eldritch Blast is. But I think this one, yeah, the fact that you can detonate kill skills so fast, and you get also, like, to me that's a little bit more interesting than the previous capstone, which I believe just made it so that you were like... what was it? It changed your like Eldritch Blast augment to do something, but I didn't think it was as interesting as this.
G-Red said this also does not require an airborne target.
That was what it was, yeah. It heat seeks. But this one, so long as you're able to get that initial hit, then you're able to ping pong the ball around, which sounds like what it is. Which sounds fucking A-grade, man. And we have last one, the fucking throwaway skill. I hate these ones, but they all have them on all the goddamn skill trees. It's 1 point, it's whatever. When Vex enters to fight for her life state, she immediately gets a second wind. She becomes invincible for a duration, and she unlocks, or she causes a phase explosion. But it's on a 120 second cooldown, but not bad for 1 point. Pretty fucking good, actually. But yeah, in a little bit. I don't know. I don't find that very interesting. Especially anything with like a 120 second cooldown, I don't even want it. I don't even want it. It's just a waste to me. It could make me God, and I'd be like, yeah, I can't use it. I can't depend on it. All right. So this is the second skill tree. Come on, J-Dilts. Oh, I'm not fucking playing it. That's why. I thought I hit play. All right. The right column. Let's rock. Grave Vitality. Kill skill. Vex gains increased movement speed and maximum capacity for health and starts recovering health on maximum health capacity. Yeah, so this I think is one that makes her almost like a Blood Witch. This one to me seems really exciting too, because she has a lot of heal skills already. And you'll see why. This one seems like a mage, where she's just going to constantly be able to output certain things, which we'll get to. Anyways, kill skill, Vex gains increased health capacity and regen, which is really helpful to you. And it's a stack bot, so that regen is going to be much more than you perceive, which is hella cool. Then we have this one, which is an augment. Kill skill. Killing an enemy while incarnate is active will spawn a soul orb that deals status effect damage over time and to nearby enemies for a duration. Detonating a soul orb at range by pressing E, that's kind of nice. So you should look at it and hit the activation skill. You don't have to actually shoot or some shit. Deals ordinate damage to nearby enemies. I can see some synergy with this in your pet, because he also scales off ordinate damage. Picking an orb up will restore health and action skill duration. If they don't lock down skill trees, or like these 3 paths, I don't know why the fuck you don't go down this one and the middle one. Yeah, that seems like too good of a deal. Because this is going to, I think, do AoE status effect, no? Spawn an orb that deals status effect damage over time. Yeah. You're not getting the craziness of like constantly spewing out AoE clouds of radiation, but you are getting like that and then some. Ordinate damage and also health and action skill cooldown, so you can stay in your like berserker mode longer. And if you can get into this, then you're able to constantly detonate your action skill or kill skills and a bunch of other good shit that was here. Yeah. That's a really good, that's the best augment I've seen for her. Is there a cooldown I'm missing? Like a action skill duration, that, duration of that. Yeah, that's just a kill steal. That's real good. Also, it's a 20. Wow, that's insane. 20% skill restore for picking up 1. How did that play, man? Because I don't know if you're going to be able to, guys. I feel like more and more as I think about it, I don't think you're going to be able to go down 2 branching
G-Red
paths.
said corpse harvesting, basically. Cool.
Yeah, but to me, what makes it broken is the fact that if you can go down 2 skill trees, why don't you go get the kill skill, then go get the kill skill whenever you get a critical hit, you detonate a kill skill, and there's no fucking limit on this. There's no, like, this is on cooldown for 10 seconds. It's just duration. So why wouldn't you just shoot someone in the head?
Capstones and augments don't have point investment, so you'd simply slot them in once you have adjacent skills invested.
Oh, is that what I'm missing up? Oh, that's maybe what I'm messing up. I didn't notice that. That might be exactly right. Okay, that makes more sense. I think the middle capstone augment was the can crit on anything, or can activate kill skills. I gotta figure this out. For me. Is that what that one was? Oh, I wish he zoomed out so I could see which he was on. That's the capstone. No, we're all the way over there. Augment. I don't think so. No, this was the augment. Yeah, this wasn't the augment that, like... Yeah, this was the augment. No, what was it? What was the augment? Oh, no, it was down there. No, it's not augment. This is the augment. So, yeah, unless... Sorry, the reason why I'm, like, not sure is because we can stack our kill skills to 3x. So the kill skill that we just seen is going to be even better, even though it's giving us crazy value. But we also have this, which is a 1% chance to instantly get a kill skill to detonate, which is super valuable for bossing. It's also 5 out of 5, so it's a 5% chance. And that other skill tree, that other kill skill, doesn't have a cooldown. So theoretically, even if you're just aiming at a head of a mob and you're getting tons of crits and you're detonating, resetting your kill
G-Red said
cooldown,
you can click the timeline bar, then drag it up to see pictures more clearly.
Yeah, I just don't remember the names, right? So that's why I have to do my weird way of clicking around. But, yeah, so you have a 1% chance, and if you just shoot an enemy a bunch, are you just going to start spawning enemies? Because they didn't say that this one has a limit. It's a kill skill. There's no, like, thing that says, like, this is on a 2-second cooldown. Maybe it just doesn't say it. It says it's a duration, damage over time effect, detonation. This might be one of those things where, like, you have to kill someone. You can't actually just, like, get kill skills to detonate in that same way. I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just seems kind of crazy. I feel like it can't work the way I think it is, because that just seems like a lot of value. Yeah. It'd be cool if it did. I'd be game. You still see the names. Try it. Yeah, but I don't remember any of the names. Like great vibe check. Keep in mind conjuration.
G-Red said you still see the names.
Grave power.
Try it.
Does anybody
McFluffican said
know what these
5%
mean?
chance at most per crit. 5 out of 100 crits is a gamble.
5 chance is the most percent crit. 5 chance 100%. Yeah, but what if you like even like that's only with the Wait, okay, I see. So you're still saying it's still... Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's enough I guess they didn't mention that status effects increase. I still think that seems really good. Maybe there's only one good kill skill like that. Vex gains increased skill damage. Vex kill skills gain increased duration. Wow, all right. Yeah, I don't know. This synergizes so much with the other, like the middle column too. When Vex uses the repair kit, her next gunshot will become a bloodshot, converting damage dealt into kinetic damage and dealing bonus damage. Dealing bonus damage based on her current health. Okay. It doesn't take her health; it just takes a.
G-Red said, "I think you're
baseline.
not understanding. Maybe I said to click the timeline bar, then drag it up, like sliding up on your phone."
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's like this. I've seen this beforehand, but does this? I still can't really see. I guess you can see a little bit better of the thing. Bloodshot, but I still feel like I would need to. Yeah, I guess I feel like it could still be hard for me to find the one thing. I guess it is pretty. It's pretty decent. I knew that as a feature. I just never used it very much, but I guess that makes sense. I thought you were just talking about like using the preview. Yeah, Bloodshot. I don't know. Those ones are kind of neat, but it's the endings. So we have a lot of lifesteal, by the way. We passed that perk. I think that's relevant to what we're about to see. Also, she has this. Vex gains lifesteal, and it is doubled when she has her action skill equipped. This can also be 5 out of 5, so there's a pretty substantial amount of lifesteal. But
McFluffican said it's mostly a skill to trigger kill skills on bosses without easy to kill ads present to keep kill skills rolling.
yeah, but theoretically, we spawn an orb. We deal damage to like maybe some ads that the boss summons. And doesn't that also have a chance to, like, that orb could theoretically do AoE damage, that AoE damage can then detonate the bleed, that bleed can then kill the enemy, and then wouldn't that have a chance also of spawning another orb? So to me, it just seems like it has a lot of momentum-based, like, detonation, where everything else seems pretty linear, where that seems like I could see some shit where it kind of gets a little out of hand, but I could be wrong. Vex gains increased health damage, again, very cool, or health lifesteal, very neat. But this is the capstone, and this all makes sense. It changes her special Eldritch Blast that now sacrifices your health, but it becomes a wave, a piercing wave that will travel through enemies, dealing damage to them. Enemies hit, take damage, and allies hit, restore health. So this kind of makes her, like, to me, a really good character overall. I also wonder if your allies can take your little souls that you're creating and, like, get cooldown reduction for their abilities, which would be helpful. She's also getting health. She's also dealing damage. She also has this, which, yes, gets you to sacrifice your health. But if I'm, again, I don't know how exactly it works, but theoretically, if you've got the blood skill tree here, like the bleed here, and then the detonation of skill trees, and each one of the times you detonate a kill skill, all those things can also crit and all these things, where I feel like you'd be able to tap into a crazy amount of health recovery, along with a crazy amount of value for your team. But I could be misunderstanding.
McFluffican said I'm specifically referring to the skill that allows crits to trigger a kill skill, with up to a 5% chance. That's for bosses without ads in particular.
Yeah. I just think, like, for instance, if you have, like, a minigun, right, and you just unload on a boss or an ad, I wonder if you could get it revving up. And we already know there's other skill trees she has, which increases critical chance. So, like, that's quite, like, far in the future.
Said,
I'm
certainly using this one. I love the succubus soul and health stealing vibe.
Yeah, especially with, like, I could see you yo-yoing hard. You know, like, none of the lifesteal things have a limit to where, like, I could see your health just being, like, drained, maxed out, you know? It is 20% of your current health. The damage looks pretty decent. Bonus damage healing, 50 of sacrifice that. So I didn't finish reading it. Enemies do that, gain bonus damage and healing based on the sacrifice health. Wow. Wait, what? You get 150... Yeah, you get 150 damage, health restored. So you use this once, or use this many times, or you continue. I guess you only can get so much. So I guess that's what it probably means. It means, like, based on the amount of health you have, and the amount you sacrifice, that gets converted into damage and healing for you and, I guess, them. So I guess this is passively saying that you want to get health stacks, probably. Unless I'm misunderstanding that. But anyways, what's the one to the right? The last one in the skill tree. Move over there, J-Dolts. Did I pause it? No, I didn't. There we go. Alright, the last one is Blood is Power. Vex gains bonus kinetic damage with guns based on lifesteal when her health is full. Okay, that synergizes with the one at the top, which takes kinetic weapons and gets them heal you. This gains bonus damage, kinetic damage based on guns based on lifesteal. Okay. So if you have this thing, which gives you a high lifesteal, you have this thing that gives you high lifesteal, and you have another thing, then does that just give you more gun damage? It says bonus kinetic damage. Okay, so it gives you more kinetic damage. Okay, so if you have more lifesteal damage, it converts into higher kinetic damage. That's kind of neat. Yeah, all that synergizes. These two, if I'm playing this character, this is way more interesting.
So yay, this is my minigun vampire tree. I'm sold. Lol.
Yeah. This one's really good if you're not, like, really wanting a pet class, which I still kind of want. I just want a good pet class is my thing. But these two, this seems to be the broken.
Sacrifice 20% HP for 1.5x that value in healing and damage boost. So more total current health, the better.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. But this to me seems like, hell, I've breezed through the one guy's skill tree. This is the one that seems the most good at a base. Is it the most exciting? Probably not to level. I think the next one we're going to look at is probably the best to probably play because it's kind of fun and different. Whereas this one, I feel like whenever I see the Eldritch Blast skill, it doesn't seem fun in general. It looks kind of like samey or normie, a little not exciting. But I think eventually when you get to shit like this, double stacking that and double stacking that, I think that's where you're going to be like, oh, we're eating good. You know what I mean? We're eating really good. And also, I could see this one being more support and this one being more like ad clear. So it depends on what you want. So it's cool. Like this is the one of the examples where Fluff said you could get 2 capstones and go back and forth. And I actually could see that being something you'd want to do here. But anyways, very neat. And now we have the one that to me is the most cool looking. Visually, as much as the cat's kind of cool, summoning 2 red fire demon copies of yourself, one that is a melee roaming enemy, and then the other that is
G-Red said that
gunner.
maybe, but you get demon wings.
You do get demon wings.
I can't not have that law.
It's true. It is very cool, and you get to hold a ball of darkness or some shit.
Lone Syndicate said, I'm very hyped to try out next doing this. Got me excited for when we check out
Yes,
Rafa's skill
Rafa's
trees.
to me, dude, Rafa might be the character I play. I don't know if that... Rafa is, I don't know. I gotta see. It's tough. Rafa has a lot of cool skills that to me, I really like his skill tree, his skill one, which has like automatic gunners. It just seems really fun and silly. Like, it can get out of hand. It can get out of hand, which I think is fun. Anyways, also just look cool when I've seen the gameplay. You pop it, you just got these 2 drones. Eventually you can unlock like shotguns. So they're just like, and also it doesn't replace the guns on them. So they're still going to keep the same fire rate of the pistols or whatever the interval of like bop, 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 bop. But now you get shotguns or just pellets galore. Anyways, we'll get to that probably in next week's Hangout stream. But for this, we're going to stick with this. We might also do this on Saturday, depending on how we feel. Oh, also, quick, I didn't mention it. Tomorrow's stream will be at 4 p.m., 4:15, probably. I got a lot of I got do stuff tomorrow, so I'm delayed by an hour. Forgive me. I gotta do stuff. It's helping family stuff. So yeah, I can't change that. Just to let you guys know, it'll be delayed by an hour, and I say 15 because I probably need time to get in here and get everything sorted. And yes, and then also feed my dogs. So it might be like 4:20 or something like that. Anyways, all right. Yeah, so this is her skill where basically, this is what's weirds me out. So it says charge 3 skills. So that mean, spawn a phase clone minion, choose between a Spectre or a Reaper. Wait, what? I didn't know you could choose. Could I spawn out like 3 Reapers? Or 3 Gunners? I didn't know that at all. Phase clones lose an ever increasing amount of health per second, and the damage type matches Vex's current attuned weapon spawn. Okay. Okay, so they change. Okay, so I guess she's holding a fire weapon here, and that's why they're fire. Because I thought they were purple in some cases. That makes sense. Press that to spawn the Reaper. That taunts enemies and deals melee damage. So this is actually really neat. So unlike the fucking cat, this one, by a very virtue of it existing, will then gain aggro. So hopefully, God help us, the melee creature will not have to spend 20 years running at the enemy just to be able to swipe, and then the enemy's going to run away again, and it's going to miss. Hopefully, they're coming at it and attacking it. Hopefully, this thing doesn't also get melted immediately. Anyways. Or you can summon the one that I think is probably going to be better, which is just a gunner that cannot move, which is a little cringe, but I kind of understand why they did it. It's on a cooldown of 35 seconds, which is actually not the worst. Also, I wonder, does this like... This is one of the few skills where I feel like you could detonate a skill charge of it and have it like reappear. Or like really be on cooldown. Like, does it mean you have 3 charges and each time you use one, it's on cooldown? Because if they die based on health, the health that they have, that doesn't seem as crazy for it to come back or be on cooldown at the minute you put it out there, you know? That one seems a little more interesting to me. Anyways, neat. All right, yep, this. Skip. Back up a little bit, just in case I missed something. All right, first skill in the minion skill tree. The true minion skill tree, not the pet cat minion skill tree.
McFlufferkin said the Reaper seemed to be Death Trap-like,
yes,
while the Spectre is like Zane's Digiclone.
Very much like Dane. I thought it was another thing, though. We were going to read it. I thought there was one other thing that was quite similar to, but I can't put my finger on it. Also, this was the one that lets you summon Reapers. I was fucked up. Anyways, kill skill, another one. Golly. Vex and her minions regen health over time. Very neat. I wonder if that kind of eats away the degradation, so theoretically your minions now last longer. Very cool. Vex and her minions gain reload speed based on fullness of her health. It only applies to the gunners, I believe, which is shitty. Maybe it also means like the recovery of a melee swing. That'd be neat. Probably not. Vex and her minions gain increased gun damage, baby. Again, very neat. I feel like you're very much specking into the, yeah. You're like, oh, you're the melee one? Eat shit. Vex and her minions gain increased melee damage and maximum health. So you got 2 ones with gun damage and 1 with melee damage. Kind of weird. But this one also gives it health. Neat. Kill skill. Vex and her minions gain increased fire rate duration. Fire rate, wow, that's actually not bad. It's not bad at all. I guess it's 3 stacks, so it's not as crazy. It's actually pretty shitty. It's not the craziest. It's 3 stacks, it's 10 stacks, yeah. I guess if you get 5 out of 5 skills, it could be a decent amount. Yeah, it's not the worst, actually. It's just not crazy. It's a skill that's balanced for where it is in the skill tree. All right, augment, finally. Gassed Blast. Minion skill. Spectres gain an ability to use Gas Blast, dealing gun damage to all nearby enemies on impacts. I wonder if this skill, which converts your... Yeah, I see a lot of synergy with this skill and the skill tree we just talked about, because it had a lot of like kinetic damage stuff, as well as doing gun damage and getting a critical hit. Can have an effect to detonate kill skills, activate what so and so. So if this...
McFlufferkin said Zane's clone was stationary and used a gun, but the Reaper has no legs, floating around and melee slashing, taunting. And I guess this does confirm splitting into trees, as the previous had 0 minions.
Spitting into 3, yeah. But for this one, I wonder if like these things, because if you can, I feel like it's going to be pretty easy to detonate that kill skill thing. Like Fluff made a good point about saying, well, it's five amount. It may be a kind of a gamble whether you're going to get that to detonate, or it may not be as good to detonate. But if you're able to get 3 gunners on the field, man, it's so shitty because it sounds so exciting, but I feel like all it takes is one dev to be like, let's just say that can't happen. Even though it should happen, it makes all the sense that it can happen. We didn't specify it can happen. We just decided we're just going to turn off that and just say, nah, it just counts as a different type of gun damage. And you're like, but anyways, the one thing that is important though is they're doing gun damage, but they're not taking your gun. I believe that's a skill that eventually you can unlock. But anyways, very cool. Spectres will use Gas Blast when they spawn in and after they reload. Ooh, that's an even cooler ability. So how do you detonate the skill is whenever they reload or spawn in. So if you have I guess I'm getting too excited. It could kind of work. Again, well, no, maybe not. I think it's this one. I think it's this one where like they can use your weapon, but only one can use your weapon. So not all 3. So I was thinking, if you just have like a character that has a really low magazine for a gun that's constantly being reloaded, like a rocket launcher that's maybe a fast reloading, I don't know, like a TDR, and you use that and you keep throwing them, then maybe that can stack, or not stack, but like be a good way to like leverage Gas Blast as well as the other thing. But it's okay, it only applies to one enemy, but still. Spectre will use Gas Blast on spawn, and after that they reload,
McFlufferkin said if the Spectres can crit, otherwise they'd have to have random crits, which is even lower chance.
Yeah, it's true, but if you have 3x, I do think it's funny, because I think that the pet class had this special like enhanced critical with Spectres, which again, it makes sense of like eventually we're going to get enough skill points to get a lot of the skills and a lot of the skill tree whenever we're like, I don't know, every Borderlands eventually ends with you being able to get most of the skill trees in the skill list. I could see that being a little crazy, but that's way down the line. Vex and minions gain increased shield increased status effects. Neat. 5 out of 5, decent amount. What is this? Do we pass something? It's an augment? What was the previous one? Status effects. Oh, okay. I'm losing myself here. I wish YouTube didn't skip 5 seconds. I wish you could go lower. I know you can do the arrows. It just never is very good. Anyways, new augment. Spawn a Reaper. Grants Vex her minions health regen for a duration. Wait, spawning a Reaper which grants Vex and her minions health regen for a duration, which I guess will like make them last longer, because I don't think they have a set duration. It's the degradation of their health. Spawning a Spectre will grant Vex and her minions critical hit damage chance for a duration. Both of these can stack. How do you spawn a Reaper? Spawn a Reaper grants Vex and her minions health. Both stack. How do you spawn a Reaper? Oh no, or is that what her summons are called? So when you spawn a Reaper, or which is one of her summons or her clones, it'll start regenerating health, and it will give you increased critical chance. And it stacks twice. Okay, that's good. I don't know if it's as good as the other one. I mean, it probably is good. Again, it probably is good. It probably gives you like Reapers that are able to persist constantly.
McFlufferkin said the action skill has you choose a Reaper or Spectre.
Oh, I see. Oh, so Spectre is considered the ranged one, and a Reaper is probably considered the melee one. I see.
G-Red said period and comma move the timeline a single frame at a time.
Period. Yeah, no, that's what I meant by tiny arrows. But I always find it like it lags. Like when I do this a bunch, it it gives me like a spinning wheel sometimes, and I'm like, I just better off just going back and waiting the 2 seconds anyway. Yeah, that one seems really good. Again, I hope we eventually get to a point where we can get 2 augments. Wait a minute, I think this is the class that actually lets you do that. Never mind. Very cool. All right, Vex melee attacks apply Curse to an enemy hit, marking them with kinetic status effect damage. Yeah, this skill tree and the other skill tree play so well together, I think. It's funny because you think like both the augments, and it makes sense. Honestly, yeah, they did such a good job because I can see how each skill tree plays so well with each other to where you're like, I can have it all, you know? Because the other skill tree buffs it like minion damage and scales it to annoy your special grenades and shit and your big weapons. But this one scales it with your kinetic damage, so it's all integrating really neat. Kill skill are triggered whenever Vex minions die. Kind of neat for bossing, I guess.
McFluffican said in crit chance for Spectre, so you can potentially use that other tree's passive, assuming you'll have the points to spare.
Yeah. I was also that's actually I think a sleeper one too, because if you're able to get like cooldown like quickly and like decrease your action skill cooldown some way, and you're able to keep summoning enemies, that could also be another way of summoning your kill skills or detonating your kill skills. And if you could detonate 3 kill skills all at once, that may not be the worst, you know. Kill skills to trigger this. Kill skill. Vex and her minions deal increased damage.
G-Red said the arrows actually move the timeline by 5 seconds. That does usually cause it to buffer, but not period and comma.
Oh, I always found it did. Maybe, yeah. I always found it eventually, like right now it stopped moving forward. So like I'm hitting the comma, the over button, and it's not continuing. I don't know what that is. It's weird. Or maybe it's just paused. Maybe that's what it was. Is that what it was? No, see, like 13. Like, oh, you guys can't see. If I'm hitting the over arrow, it's not doing it. And I clicked it, I thought.
McFluffican said minion death and crit proc chance for kill skills will definitely be great for bossing.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I think what they're there for. I wonder if you can get into the point where like you can keep detonating kill skills to detonate like certain things like spawning a homing orb, you know, especially when there's no cooldown. To me, that's stuff where I'm like, ooh, I wonder if that could be like. It just seems visually fun of like you just unloading someone into a chain gun and then just seeing a bunch of these little sprites popping out, you know. Kill skill, minion damage. Minion damage is welcome, 5 out of 5 also. It's pretty decent. Kill skill, Vex increases. Yeah, this is what I was wondering. Kill skill. Vex
G-Red said strange. I've never had that issue before.
Yeah, it could just be some sort of weird thing. Maybe it's the operating system that I use, like Opera or whatever it is. Anyways, yeah, this is awesome. Kill skill stacks 3 per second. You can stack up to 5 times. It's not bad. Especially considering like that's the one limitation, especially if you're going to use your minions as like cannon fodder to detonate kill skills. That could be huge. And you can just summon like a melee one and just be like, Godspeed. He just runs at an enemy, kills him immediately. Extra curse. Weird. Curse damage now triggers on minions melee damage. And deals increased damage when it's triggered by a critical hit. Okay, but it can only... Well, I guess it doesn't apply that. How did we normally apply a curse? Shit, I forgot how we did that. Was it through a minion or was it through a gunshot? I don't know. I feel like that one's pretty good. It's not clicking. I forgot how we detonate a curse. So I think you need to get the ability to get a curse and then that. Anyways, now we're specialized. We're almost done with this. Attunement. What does the left column do? Attunement skill. While Vex is attuned, so this is corrosive. Corrosive, killing an enemy creates a haunting remnant. That's what I would want. No! Oh, look at the cooldown. We can't have nice things. Oh, I'm so upset. I was so excited when I seen it. Killing an enemy creates a haunted remnant minion for a duration that seeks out nearby enemies, dealing corrosive damage over time. Kill skill restores haunting remnants duration, I guess. I guess that kind of sequences and plays into it. Boo. I guess it never implies you can have multiple haunted remnants out. Yeah, well, I guess there's something there. So the more you kill, the more you get a permanent corrosive debuff, which is kind of cool. Yeah, the fact that it's on a cooldown of 6 seconds, though. Again, if you activate the Remnant and it's already on cooldown, and then you can start chipping off cooldown or pushing it even farther, that's great. I have a feeling that as soon as it ends, it's like now you gotta eat a 6-second motherfucking shit sandwich, and you're like, kill yourself. I hate you. Don't look at me. Ah! Anyways, still kind of neat. Little ghost that follows you around. I get it. Alright. Attunement skill. Minion skill. Spectre casts Wither on an enemy when they spawn, dealing status effect damage over time and increases damage for a duration. It's a kill skill. Withered enemies allow specters to use
McFluffican said one
Wither
remnant,
again.
but you can keep it going for most of its cooldown if you stack kill skill triggers.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that they didn't apply like degradation here, which like they used to say this thing in Wonderlands or whatever, where it's just like, this thing has diminishing returns, which I thought, oh, how unfun. But what does this mean? Kill skill, killing a withered enemy. So you spawn a specter, they apply wither to an enemy, you kill that person now. It will allow a specter to use wither again. Oh, okay, so it stacks a little bit. It's kind of okay. I don't know if it's good enough augment. Damage taken. Oh, I guess it does amplify damage quite a bit. It does a little bit of damage. I guess you're mainly there for the damage amp then, huh? Makes sense. When Vex or her minions apply status effects, it applies, this is pretty cool, applies a random element a status effect. Damages 30% of whatever the initial status effect was. That's pretty good. And also, holy shit, it's also 5 out of 5-able. So what is that going to turn into? That's a big fucking number, man. It's on a 5-second cooldown, so I guess it's not as crazy. Why do they gotta put a cooldown on there, man? Disappointing. Disappointing. Maybe it's cooldown per enemy. That makes sense. If it's cooldown per enemy, I'd be okay with it. Keep suffering. Status affects damage. Gains a chance to critical hit. That 5%, that 5% chance to reset your cooldown, not looking so bad. It's still so deep. You have to get that one, and then this it's impossibly deep. It's definitely like a way at maybe at the very end of the game we'll be able to tap into both of those. But that's pretty good, man. Status effect damage gives you a chance to critical hit. Yeah, you need to get that thing in order to detonate the one thing. Dang, sucks that these synergize, but they're so far down. Anyways. Gas bait. Whenever Vex dodges, that's also cool.
McFluffican said also means every kill skill trigger on crit refreshes the Spectre Wither ability, so a lot of uptime.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just don't know how good corrosive damage is. Corrosive has always been kind of slept on, I think, in a lot of the games. I don't think there's been many like characters that have like pushed it. Krieg pushed fire like crazy. Also everything because he did blood explosion. Plenty of them did fire. I just don't know if I've ever seen a character that uses corrosive just like rip people apart, you know? Whenever Vex dodges, she creates a specter nearby and becomes invisible for a duration of 120 seconds. It might as well not exist. Damn you. But maybe when you get 3 out of 3, it's like 30 seconds. Still a long time. Still comfortably a long amount of time, man. Great for like PvP play. 8 seconds is not that long. Probably long enough to give your friend a second wind. Or pick him up. So, pretty good support skill. Yeah. I wish they had more things like that. The more investment you put in it, the less the cooldown becomes, but I digress. Shot to go. Passive skill. When Vex spawns her current gun, her next weapon has ammo. It's ammo parts. Oh, this is what I thought the one skill was. I misunderstood this. Yeah, but basically when you swap back and forth in weapons, they recharge 6% of that ammo. Pretty neat. Kind of whatever. I don't know why it exists here. I feel like the skill tree is a little bit scattered. It kind of just like, sure, this I guess. And you're like, I don't think that really sequences with anything, but okay. Vex gains increased corrosive damage. Of course, this is because it's this corrosive skill tree.
McFluffican said so she's Loki.
Yes, actually, that makes sense. With corrosive, the Loki, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Spectre gains, okay, so this is her capstone. Spectres gain a copy of Vex's current equipped weapon for a duration. Ooh, I wonder if that happens. I wonder if every time you switch between weapons, your Spectres don't have to reload. Probably not. Anyways, Spectres gain a copy of Vex's weapon, equipped gun, but only one Spectre can have a copy of her gun at a time. Yeah. And spawn a new Spectre will remove the copy of the gun. Yeah, so wherever you spawn, they'll spawn with like the best one who has the gun. A copy weapon has a decrease in its damage by 25%, and also lasts a measly 8 seconds. It's okay. This one is, I don't really love this cap thing, but I mean, that is a really powerful skill to give your gun to a creature or thing. I don't know. It's less spicy. Anyways, the second capstone middle variant, Spectre gains a copy of Vex's current equipped weapon and gun for a set.
G-Red said
sorry,
weak.
we already got that. God damn it. Weak. Sorry, it's a weak. There we go. Now we're on to the thing. Burning attunement. Ooh, fire. Fire's always been pretty good in every game. Attune skill with Vex is attuned to fire. Her minions gain critical damage and status effect chance. That seems better for the one thing. Yeah, I wonder if it's better just to go down this one and then this one and then just always be detonating kill skills. Anyways, very neat. We like it. Attune skill. This is that's the one we just read. God damn you. No, it's a different one. Attune skill while... No, that's right. The one I didn't read before. Effect persists for a duration after you switch weapons. Neat. Yep. Alright. Augment. These are the important ones. Hellish Harvest. Minion skill. Reapers gain the ability, which is your melee clones, gain the ability to use Hellish Harvest. Okay, what does Hellish Harvest do? Dealing melee damage 3 times in a large area around themselves and regenerating health for each hit. Reaper will use Hellish Harvest on spawn, and every 3rd time they melee attack. Damage 32 per hit. Health regenerate. That's pretty good, man. It depends on how fast your little Spectre things do, and how... I don't know if you can re-instance your Spectre. I think when you summon them, they're summoned. Unlike Zane, where you can reposition them, I don't think you can do that with this. That's pretty good. It will just be... It'll make you rip your hair out when you summon your melee enemy, and they slowly loom towards your enemy, and you're like, just please hit somebody. And then they fall apart, because they die before they can actually hit something to recover health. So... I don't really care when you spawn them in that they do this spiral, because you can't get over health. So like it won't increase their duration or anything like that, you know? So it's good. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's good.
McFlufferkin said good if not planning on the Spectre crit kill skill build.
Yeah. Reoccurrence. When Vex deals gun damage and melee damage, gain a stack of reoccurrence, which increases her minions' gun damage and melee damage. I don't know why you don't go for gun damage. Maybe the melee ones always recover, so you'll be able to have higher uptime. Duration only lasts 5 seconds though. Stacks of recurrence, lose stacks is not being. Oh yeah, so just a set for duration. Gotcha. So yeah, so whenever you deal gun damage or melee damage, you get a stack of that, which stacks up to. Wait a minute.
G-Red said yay. All of this heavily depends on how well the AI and pathing is for your minions.
For sure, yeah.
I'm concerned honestly.
Ditto. I was gonna say, this one's much better than I thought. They always catch you with these fucking things where they're like, it's like, oh yeah, it's like a, gun damage or maybe melee damage or whatever. And they're like, it stacks 50 times. It stacks 50 fucking times. And you're like, what? Jesus. All right, never mind. That was probably the best. Yeah, we got that one. Go to the other one. There we go. Melee damage dealt by Vex and her minions is now converted to fire damage, which is a 25%
Lone
chance.
Syndicate said now we talking.
Yeah, that's a lot for sure. That one's not bad. That one's not bad at all. It's a 25% chance to detonate though. Is a little fucky. It is also, it's only melee damage, so it only affects your Reapers. Melee override. Vex now throws a phase dagger from her offhand that deals melee damage to enemies hit. Phase dagger can critical hit, and whenever you detonate a kill skill, it will reset the cooldown. All right. I kind of see the vision a little bit. I guess like if you're constantly redetonating your kill skills, like you're constantly detonating your kill skills, you'll be able to spam this. 18 damage doesn't seem like a high amount at a base. Yeah. Also, I wonder how fast, like if I theoretically have to watch an animation of her doing this, and it stops me from shooting. I don't know if that's, you gotta have a lot of damage comp, like overabundance. I bet there's something that like increases damage for anyone who's hit by the dagger. You can, I guess, put it 5 out of 5, so I guess it is stacking more damage than you think. Vex gets increased incendiary damage. I've seen nothing that increases her melee damage. So like that's gonna scale. I think like it has to be crazy scaling on a base. Vex gains increased. It's just enhancing the element that this one favors, which is fire. All right, Grim Reaper, baby. Capstone skill. Press and hold F to spawn a Grim Reaper, boyo. Hold skill that drains nearby enemies, dealing status effect damage over time and restoring health for every enemy drained.
Lone Syndicate said also I am drawing, which is why I am in and out of the conversation.
I'm just happy you're here.
G-Red said, you know what I would super love, is if games like this had Dragon Age's ability to customize how your companions behave, and when to use certain things.
Totally. It's one of
or
the...
even FF12 did that too.
It's fantastic, and most games should do it. 126 cooldown. 126 cooldown, man. I bet it's like, but you can get it to do more. It can last longer if you do things, and I'm like, fuck you, man. When an enemy dies while being drained, there is a chance to summon a new Reaper. It will be spawned. Yeah, but it's just such a long time to wait to do that, man. So like, what if it doesn't spawn another guy? It's a 30% chance. Yeah, it's a 30% chance, man. I just feel like that's such a bad bet. You can do this every 120 seconds. Yeah, and like the only way to detonate it is by doing it. Like if I could do it by like, I would take a 1% chance to do it by gun damage or melee damage or something, or status damage. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna look cool.
Lone Syndicate said so. Basically, she has a sort of Digijack skill from the pre-sequel, but worse.
Yeah, it's kind of what it seems like what that is. I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding something. I mean, it's like it restores health. So maybe like you summon all your enemies, they're about to die. You summon this big wraith thing, it drains a bunch of enemies and picks them up. I just feel like it's super situational. Like most are your clones so bad that they're not going to be able to kill things around them. And why not just bet on like cooldown? Like if I get that one skill that like decreases my cooldown by a decent amount, then wouldn't I always have my like one copy to spend? It leaves me worried for why this would even be an option for how strong your digi clones are, you know. Anyways, what's the one to the right of it? It's the cooldown that kills me. I hate abilities that they don't want you to use. I'd rather take an ability that's like kneecapped, shot 7 times in the chest, but at least I can use it repeatedly, than one that's like godly for a couple seconds at a time.
G-Red said I can already tell. The only good tree for her is the vampire tree. Sad. I'll probably use the cat tree while leveling, then switch to the vampire tree when I have enough points to bring it online.
Yeah, I think there are some good things here. Like I definitely think they're like, again, I see the vision. Like they're like, even if you're wanting to go with the what is it called, the angel wing skill tree. There's still like other things here that like boost kinetic damage, that like boost health regen, you know, which would help you. Anyways, is this the one? Puncture. Haru Spec now throws 5 phase daggers from both hands in a fan blade. Who's Haru Specs? Killing an enemy now only refunds 30%. I guess that's her? Why do they do this? Why do they call Vex? Yeah, is it her full name, I guess? I don't know. Anyways, so now that's actually a really good skill. So it makes it so that now you're throwing 5 fans. So if you get point blank, like a melee should be, and you throw a bunch of fan blades in someone's head, I still don't know how good that's gonna be, because again, she doesn't scale off of melee. So that one skill better like take her to the fucking heavens. But I get that. That one seems cool, and I like how it. Well, actually, wait, killing an enemy now. Yeah, it's only killing. Is it still killing an enemy with the fan blade, or is it killing an enemy period, and then you recover with cooldown your dagger? I don't know. That one's a little bit less cool to me. That one's at least interesting in this class. Even though the Reaper thing is neat, I feel like it's gonna be flashy, but it's not very desirable, at least to me. Also, fire is kind of, as much as fire has always been good in these games. I don't really love fire in these games. Overused to me. Alright, Vex and her Spectre deal bonus damage with gun critical hits. Bonus damage is a random element type that changes on reload. Yeah, so this one is definitely her, like, guns gunnery
McFlufferkin
class.
said the skill above is linked, and this requires 1 point in the connected skill.
Oh, is that what that one was? I see the hex. I see that. That was the skill's name. That makes sense. This one to me seems much more interesting, especially I think it feeds into the elemental one. Vex and her specters, which are specifically the gunners, now not only do bonus damage and also can now critical hit, which is huge. Wow, they can also just critical hit. Yeah, if you go down that one and that one, that's pretty good. Anyways, but also now they randomly apply an element that changes on reload and increases for each active attunement. So I guess they have to do it that way, right? Where like Vex's companions probably get her weapon, but it's not her weapon. It's probably not scaled in the way that it is her weapon. Because I wonder how you would control the interval of reloading, or if every one of them just has assault rifles. I could see like that one skill tree being like, no, you get the scaled version of your weapon, you know? Or maybe it is just everyone gets a shitty AK. I don't know. And it's bonus damage, pretty neat. Damage multiplier per active attunement, pretty neat too. Wait, damage bonus multiplier 50 per active attunement. I don't know what that one really means. That last little bit. Anyways, minion skill, baby, and it's an augment. All right, what's the augment for the right skill column? It should be god damn it. Reapers, your melee creatures, can now use Banshee Wail, periodically dealing damage to nearby enemies and granting overshield to all nearby enemies. So I guess it's like, yeah, it basically makes her like a support bot, which is neat. Damage dealt reduces. Why not? Damaging enemies deals reduced damage for a duration. Gotcha. Okay, this is not that bad. So dealing damage to enemies, it decreases or increases the duration. That's okay. Again, some of these attunement spans, some of them feel so fucking good, and the other ones are like, okay. I remember seeing what's his name's. I do think what's his name has much better attunements. I do think she has much better capstones though. I don't even know any capstones. It's just like her random one-off abilities seem crazy. Like the one that's like, hey, double stacking kill skills whilst also being able to detonate kill skills, whatever. A little hot. Coming in a little hot there. Vex Raids increase minion damage, minion skill, and command skills gain further increased damage. Cool. So the ones that actually apply some sort of damage thing. Neat. Spirit Bomb. Ooh, that's fun. Saying it's Dragon Ball reference. Reapers gain maximum health capacity and will release a Spirit Bomb remnant when they die, dealing damage of the elemental type to nearby enemies. Reaper maximum health capacity 10, Spirit Bomb damage. Ooh. I guess you have to lose a Reaper to get it, so it's not as good. Still, if you went down the cooldown pathway, that's not as terrible. It's definitely doesn't. I guess it's of their current HP. I wonder if that scales off your base HP. It's okay. Anyways, Vex gains a stack of Ancient Rite. For each of her active minions, every second increases minion
G-Red
damage.
said what really kills this tree for me is the 3 minion limit. Unless there is a way to drastically increase that to like 10 or higher, this minion tree just does not go far enough to me.
Red, I got the perfect character for you. What if I told you you could play a spunky little soldier that had floating orb minions where you could have thousands in play, circling and eviscerating everyone in a chaos of light. Anyways, but the Moe's vibe was awesome. You just felt like a true overlord with 1,000 little like weird orbs just eviscerating everyone. In my head, they were that weird Pokemon that's a little Pokeball looking thing that explodes and kills itself immediately. Anyways, stack of lost after duration. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one's pretty shit, I'll be honest. It's supporty. It's fine, but I always felt like support ones. You should incentivize people playing support and not be like, it's too powerful. We should have to. You can only do that. You can only heal. And you're like, why? Why? Whenever Vex takes damage while at low health, she spawns a Reaper nearby. Okay, it's on 120-second cooldown, which probably becomes like 30 seconds cooldown when you max invest it. And whenever you're close to dying, you summon a thing. The other skill tree had you become fucking invulnerable and deal a giant nuke damage, and also another thing for 1 skill point. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Skip. All right. Is this it? No. Okay. There we go. Whenever Vex takes... What the fuck? Start. Whenever Vex takes damage while low health. Oh, we are really. Goodbye. Skip. Shoot. Next one. There we go. Dead Ringer gains an additional charge. Oh. What was Dead Ringer? What the fuck is Dead Ringer? Does anyone remember what Dead Ringer is? Well, Dead Ringer has another charge. Death Follower? Dead Ringer. Bring out your dead. I guess that's just my summon capacity? Okay, so now you have four charges? Is that what that means? Probably. Okay, I guess probably what it means. Yeah, okay. So you have now 4 charges instead of 3. And her capstone is something called the Dark Pack. Vex can equip 2 augments. Everything else is pretty shit, but that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Shit. Why does it have to be around such dog shit abilities? Vex can now equip 2 augments and gain the abilities to use this skill called the Dark Pack. What does the Dark Pack do? When you press and hold F, it fully restores health of all active phase clones, as well as grants you increased movement speed and increased minion attack speed, which is awesome. So you just rev them up entirely, but guess what? It's on a 42-second cooldown, which is fine because it gives you 2 augment abilities, which honestly would be enough. Phase clones do not lose health over time while Dark Pack is active. That's huge. Also, Dark Pack is active. The health loss is reset. Dark Pack ends. Okay, so you get full health when they leave, when it ends. That's neat. That's neat. Yeah, it's just on a long ass cooldown, but you're also just getting a passive. That's kind of ass. I wish that skill was not tied to such a mid ass capstone. Yeah, man. After further reflection, I very much think that the angel skill tree is it's just insanely valuable. Like, I don't know how you can justify not going down that one eventually in any way. Maybe I'm not remembering the cat class as much, but I thought the cat class did not seem as crazy. Like this one, at least I can see some. You have 3. At least the. I don't know, man. I thought the same thing about I thought Flack's best animal would be his monkey because it's range damage, right? But they made it so terrible. He shoots so rarely, and it's just a mess. Zane was a little more consistent because at least he continued to shoot, reload, and didn't have to always run after the enemy. Anyways, I think her middle class is so strong. Her Angel of Death one, that it seems like a different beast entirely, you know. But yes, man, it's tough because I really love pet classes to death. I love them. I just think that every person does not know how to make them. They always limit it, and again, I always say it, but the best pet class in all of Borderlands was weirdly enough Moze. And no, I'm not even talking about Iron Bear, although I guess there was a build that was kind of cool where you could summon Iron Bear in a little tiny pocket drone, which was something at least.
McFlufferkin said then Flack got a little loader bot, the ultimate beast.
Did he get a loader? What do you mean? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Right, yeah. I didn't know it was that. I never went back and played or seen even builds with people using that for Flack. But as much as I really like her, and I really like the one that seems crazy to me is her her beast skill tree, because it just seems like it synergizes in really fun ways. But man, if I'm honest, the character that I think I like that seems to speak to me the most in a weird way is Rafa. Is this Rafa's actual? Oh, it is. I didn't mean to actually play this. I meant to play this. Rafa's skill tree to me, it has. Again, it's not hard to describe, but if I'm honest with myself about what I like the idea of a pet class a lot. The idea of summoning a bunch of shit and then just seeing everything devour your enemies in front of you. Moze is the best incarnation of this ever. You just chuck a bunch of grenades and you just watch people shatter in ice, explode, and they constantly ping with just getting eviscerated. It's so good. And if you want, you can get into a giant mecha bear and shoot the shit out of people and kill them. It's great. It's great. But if I'm honest with myself, what I really like is things like that.
McFlufferkin said Rafa being melee and shock ticks a lot of the right boxes.
Right for you. Yeah, I'm about to say he has a lot of the stuff that I've seen like from like all the
G-Red
kind of
said
those
my
classes.
day is ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable lol. The pet and minion trees are just meh as usual for Gearbox.
Yeah, well, we don't know that. Maybe there's scale. Like, this is the only thing that I think they can do that really will kill it, is if they just scale it really high. Like, just take a chance, Gearbox. Just God, please. And also, the other thing that we're not mentioning, which is huge, every single thing can change if with one legendary, with one class mod. That's the only, like, super silver lining. If, like, any of these skills don't seem exciting to you, maybe they're fucking artifacts or their skills or they're, like, special things. They're, like, passive bonuses are just insane. You know, like, if I think about it, if the Hex Grenade didn't exist or the Maddening Tracker Grenade didn't exist, Moses Grenade would be kind of okay. You, like, soak the ground in, like, fire and hope the enemy stays in it. It'd be good, but it wouldn't be as good as having those two weapons that just made everything fucking beautifully play out. So we never know. That's the good
McFlufferkin
part
said
of loot
that Death and
games.
Revive was so slow, good lord.
Death and Revive was so slow. I was trying to think what I was going to say. The reason why I was more interested with Rafa is because Rafa to me seems like the hybrid of a lot of characters I love to death. So, for instance, I really enjoyed Moses' grenade build. Rafa has a lot of like grenade and what's the weapons for the ordnate weapons? He has a lot of ordnate abilities as well.
G-Red said maybe. I'll likely wait for modders to fix it. This game is Unreal 5, so easy modding.
Yes, true, very true. Also, some performance fuckery probably as well, assured for us. But they said there's going to be technically like no loading screens. I think that just means that like you're going to be looking at like a dimensional wormhole for 2 to 3, 5 seconds, something. Anyways, but what was I trying to say? It was right there. The reason why I'm interested in the one guy, which is named Rafa. He has a lot of like grenade abilities. He also has some things that attach themselves to ordnate damage, and he also just has something like the melee, like Krieg roaming, just rip everyone to shreds kind of build, which is also awesome. But the reason why I think he's more appealing to me is because he seems like he is strong in every single way of the journey. Where I could very much see the Siren being pretty shitty in the beginning, maybe okay, because I feel like her clones will be pretty good when you're just starting out. But when you get to endgame and things start scaling weird, I feel like that would be where like we really got to see if they can keep the damage up. But even if they don't, I think it's better just to jump over to the one skill tree and go. With Rafa, it seems like he just goes. Like his one ability where he summons like these turrets that are just constantly mowing down enemies, and you can change them to do like giant AoE missile barrages. You can change them to do shotgun damage. You can change them to a bunch of shit. He also seemed like he had a lot more skills that do a special thing. Like you know how she had a couple things where it said like summon a minion sprite that runs around and applies havoc or applies corrosive radiation on like pools of ground, etc. I think Rafa, if I'm not mistaken, had a lot of those same things, except they didn't seem like they had as much of a limitation. Where I imagine that means that she probably has more like powerful abilities, but they're all on cooldowns, which to me I'm like, I don't care as much about. Which I thought when I was looking at Rafa's skills, there was less of that weird funkiness. Yeah, so I'm excited to talk to you guys about Rafa, but we definitely don't have time. We barely have enough time to look at like 2 memes. Sorry, I did not think that would take that long. It turns out there's a lot of skills to look at when they added like 150 more or something. But I cannot wait. The one that to me, I don't know, man, because I was expecting Rafa to have more ordnate damage, and I'm really excited. Hey, Trader, thank you for being here for the from the Doom video. Dude, that video was insane, by the way. If I could just ramble about that. I made that video just for me, on a whim, just because I like the game so much. That video has, like, within a couple days, a wild amount of comments. And a lot of them are positive. There's some people who are, like, you know, memeing a little bit. But there's some people who are like, I think you should play the one I knew I was going to have people just, like, rave about, which is, it's like such a fabled bullet hell, which is Ultra Kill, I've heard about. That one, I don't know if I have the capacity, you know, like I feel like that's super zoomery. Like that's like slam a Red Bull in a monster and hope to God that you have the dormant Twitch fibers that you lost as you got older. Okay, just revive slowly so that you can turn on a pivot and like shoot someone in the chest. Although I don't know if that game has the same stand and like drive forward. Again, like the idea of the shield is always allowing you to like get ground and not have to always like pussyfoot around dodging orbs. But anyways, yeah, I'm happy with that video doing so well. It's a shock to me because again, I haven't uploaded this channel for millennia, and it's always just like I just wanted to talk to people about how cool this is. Anyways, let us do a little tiny amount of this. We might go through Rafa's depending on what you guys want on Saturday, or we could go into a different next Sunday or Thursday probably because that's what we'll play next. Anyways, what is all this about? Pause. All right, Skyrim Classic in Ultra HD. Oh, this is gonna be weird. Oh, it's so loud. So loud. Oh wow, actually. Wait, is that AI or is that? What if all Skyrims were? That's actually awesome. Normally I don't like the realistic look, but it works when it's a Norse Viking with like trauma, you know? Crazy says Rafa. Crazy, I thought you were laughing. You left. I thought you left. Good to see that you're still here, man. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm happy you guys were okay with me talking about such a specific hyper-conscious thing for like an hour, 2 hours. Only you guys would allow me to be so selfish. Anyways, all right, let's see. Nordmail, looking good. How are the elves? We have to see what they did to the elves, because please tell me they gave them some sort of pretty pass, because Jesus Christ. Also, Red says, meh, the TOS slash Ilu have always been against modifying the game in any way. Monitors find a way. They can kiss my ass. Yeah. They had to categorize why for Borderlands, if not the other games. A game got review bomb for. Yeah. I feel like Borderlands 3 was able to be modded though. I think people made a bunch of cool mods. I just don't know if that was like again like trying to circumnavigate shit like that or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's see what they look like. Is she just gonna look like a? Okay, now you're changing shit. Why does she not have hella goth art vibe? Also beautiful, guys. I think these are all made by AI, and it is. Do you think this is a really heady conversation? Do you think we'll get to a point where like beauty standards just change because like the system has gotten too good at showing us what we like? You know, I because that's beautiful, like beyond pretty, but at the same time. I feel like if I keep seeing this for years, I still think honestly, I think it'll always be beautiful. In hindsight, I think if you look at all of history, bone structure is bone structure in a lot of ways. So I don't know. Crazy says I left for a bit, but now I think Rafa should be really strong. One I'm not sold on is Vex's talents yet. Yeah, Vex to me, her skill tree with the angel that seems cracked. And a lot of her kill skill stacking seems cracked. It's her augments that to me just feel like really shitty. Like they have like super limitations, like it's on a crazy long cooldown, and then it takes a long time to detonate, or like you can only detonate a certain time. Whereas I remember when I looked at Rafa, I think Rafa has less potent like weird skills. Like she has 2 crazy skills within that skill tree, I think. Whereas Rafa seemed much more balanced across the board. But we have to look at him, but we won't look at him yet because well, we stream for another fucking 4 hours or 2 hours if we do that. Fluff says, although it's
McFlufferkin said 100% I, Oblivion Remastered is the best Tamriel's races have looked. UE5's metahuman stuff is very good, but not photorealistic.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah, this one, yeah, it's not uncanny, although this is nice. Yeah, it's definitely AI. Oh, wow! I can't believe that looks so good. Actually, I'm into that one. That looks really nice. The hair physics, that looks really cool. What is the woman gonna look like? Is it gonna be different? Wow, that's pretty fucking good, man. Imagine if they just like run AI to like, I feel like that's not far off, man. It's funny because people always talk about AI being like, what if we talk to a companion? That's very cool. But that to me is also crazy. If you had an algorithm that just scanned everything, modeled it in this way, and had like a 3D mapping of it all, that'd be neat. Khajiits look surprisingly good. A little long neck, but you know. Here we go. Here's the golden goose. How ugly do the elves look?
Fetus said pretty kitties.
Pretty kitties. How bad? Fucking yeah, dude. That looks so sick. That looks like what they want the elves to be, which is like, honestly, it sounds fucked up, but these guys look evil. I kind of get why people are prejudiced. That guy looks terrifying as shit, all right? Looks like he eats babies. Probably the nicest guy, but his face got scars and dirt and shit, cracked skin, wild. But that looks awesome. I feel like that's what they ate, like what the race is supposed to give off the vibe. Because beforehand, they just look like they're like tanned or recolored elves. That looks great. Okay, that's tough. How are they going to save this one? Okay. That was a little less convincing. This is what I want to see. Okay. It looks too real, like too much like an elf. What did Brett look like?
McFlufferkin said people already wrongfully accused Oblivion for being AI generation, but this obvious.
Yeah, it is obvious for sure. Yeah. I want to see what Brett looks like, man. I imagine it's a Snord. Oh, that's weird. That's a different vibe for sure. It's like a fishy vibe. Still pretty. Ah, fuck, fine. You got me, you piece of shit. You piece of shit. God damn it, we're getting fucking marketed right now, guys. No, we're not. You lying bitch, you stole this from somebody. Full video, tap here. We're getting, what the F? Oh, is that, oh, maybe that's what it is. Really? If I open it in the thing, it doesn't, oh, I hate it. Can I open it in a short format? I can, okay. So now we have access to this, which is weird that it doesn't just do that right at the hop. All right, there we go. Well, what's next? All right, we've seen the Nord. We've seen that one. That's actually a really smart way of formatting combat. He just took the content. He just took the ones that were most interesting and showed it off. Nice. We got that one. That one looked great. That one looked good. Okay. So this is Altmir. Altmir looked a little bit weird. I don't like the stubble on the chin. How about the ladies? Hella forehead. Wow. Sometimes AI is doing a lot of heavy lifting, man. All right, it's getting a little weird. It's getting a little morphy. What the fuck? What the That guy hates Imperial. Imperial scum, man. Damn. That's a hard-ass start. Okay. It looks okay. She looks, yeah. It weirdly works. It did a lot of heavy lifting. Imperial females. Everyone looks pretty. It's funny because this is what it always becomes. Nexus is just a bunch of beautiful people running around. Bosmir, I think we looked at. Yep. Yeah, that. Don't do my Bretons dirty, please. Ooh, this is huge. What is the Algor? Yeah, this is gonna be weird. I feel like it's a little weird. This is one I knew would be kind of off. I don't love it. I guess it's more dragon than it is like lizard, which probably makes more sense. It's probably like dragon people. That one looks less bad. That one looks more dinosaur. Black dude, red guard. Yep, looks like a, yep. Yep, handsome black man. Handsome black lady, etc. Yes. Hell yes, orc. Let's see what this becomes. Damn. That's awesome, man. Oh, I'd play a fucking orc if that was what we looked like, man. It's so crazy how like if you just take away everything but the eyes and that, you see that's all you need to be like, damn. That is terrifying.
G-Red said that looked like 50 Cent lol damn.
Orc females, please. Still smash, honestly. That looks great. That actually is great tracking. Like, okay, here we go. Here's the big pooba, guys. My every class, I always play Breton. Or Breton. Alright. I'm okay with that. We look kind of like Caesar. Or like, what is it called? Spartacus? I'm into that. That's cool. What about the ladies? Okay, looks fine. Oh, looks good. Honestly, I would take it. I'm normally not a sucker for like realistic graphics, but shit, man, if they're looking this good and they're making things just this much better, I'm kind of game. I don't love that they all look. That guy looks weird.
Said sad Christian Bale.
Sad Christian Bale, yeah. What do you call it? Some of them definitely look like. I wish more of them had this energy. Like, cause it feels weird when you see like this guy looks like he's real. He could exist. But then when you look at like these beautiful ass people, what is it? Like the ladies specifically, they look gorgeous, and you're like, all right, this is some bullshit. This is some non-realistic ass. Why is a Victoria's Secret model out here in the fucking Skyrim or some shit? But this one looked a little more realistic.
G-Red said, look at the red guard again.
The red guard looked like, you said it looked like 50 Cent? I don't think it looks like 50 Cent. 50 Cent has a very iconic look to me a little bit. I don't see 50 in that. I was just thinking, red guy face blind. Or I'm wrong. I could be wrong too, but I don't think that looks like 50. I was gonna say, but I liked how like this one looked more. It's weird. I always wish like the ladies didn't look so perfectly manicured, because it makes it look weird. Like this one looked a little more realistic, still like fucking ordained by God in every capacity possible with the bone structure, but still in like perfect skin. But anyways, let's scroll up and check out some more. Oh, it's so loud. Me trying to finish my spring cleaning before the guy who throws chairs at me for doing my spring cleaning gets me. What?
G-Red said, I see it. That's 50 Cent with brown hair and cornrows.
Cornrows? I don't see. I think this is the problem. I have really good, like, I'm terrible with names, but I'm the best at faces.
McFlufferkin said, why is the Victoria's Secret model in Skyrim? Anyone looking at a heavily modded Skyrim game with hundreds of beautification mods?
Dude, it's hilarious because the dudes look like shit, like, or like filthy. Again, it's like the classic adage of like, I don't know who said it, but it's like a classic thing of like, I'm a simple man, okay? What I want for my video games is I want the dudes to look rugged, beefy, hardened, dirty, war-torn shit, and I want my weapon to look hot and beautiful, okay? I don't want any just in between. I want, yes, maybe a little bit of in between with like tomboy aesthetic, all that stuff, but yes. What is it? Trying to find things. Guys throws chairs at me. Honestly, dude, these movies I look back on as just being just the best. Honestly, I look at everything Brandon Fraser did, and I quite like. Sad how industry treated him, but anyways, what is this?
G-Red said, I grew up listening to 50 Cent, playing his games, and watching his movies. I know, lol.
You know?
McFlufferkin said, I want the men to look hard AF, and I want the women to make me hard AF.
What is this? Is this a soldier fighting for his life? Or is this a bang boo? I don't know what it is. He's like, what is this universe, and what are they feeding people, and why do the guys look like the guys, honestly? Wise looks like a normal human being, everyone else looks crazy. Is it a bamboo straw he's eating? God help me. Also, who else eats popcorn like that just by the fistful? Great. Also, I should do one of these. I should start being like, fucking love it. I think it was this one that I thought was fucking the best. Good shit. What is this? Don't forget to keep your goth girlfriend hydrated this summer. Dude, I've watched so many things. I'm not sure if anyone's gotten eaten up by the algorithm of a guy. You know, there's like a format of meme out there where it's just a bunch of green text and it's just a bunch of shit that happened.
Flufferkin said Siege Tales. The main mascot is the recruit from R6 Siege, and he's doing his best to stay focused in New Eridu.
Oh, I see. So many distractions. But yeah, like the meme format of a bunch of weird green shit, and then I don't even think it's an AI voice. I think it's just a guy who was just like, I'm gonna voice this like really well. So then he voices all this stuff, but it's like just a slew of like a bunch of random shit that happened. And I'll be honest, I've watched a guy play Minecraft and jump on weird fucking square blocks and like just cream through levels as I listen to random stories that people happen, which are probably not true, but they're like, wow, God. Although sometimes you really know one that's like fucking completely lies, like one that's like, my wife cheated on me and then I got her back because I planned 10 years ahead for this. And you're like, you got what? You got so many more problems, buddy. Anyways, yes, the goth girlfriend hydration thing. Is it Pepsi? Oh my God. Is this a double meme thing? Where, yes, she's a bat because she's a goth, but also there's another meme where Pepsi is another thing that people type into meme comments of somebody killing themselves or dying in some capacity. So you like go and watch a video and it's a car crash and you think that's fine, and then you're like, it was totally not fine, I just watched someone die. And then you type in like Pepsi, which I don't know what the abbreviation is for it, But anyways, but this is a goth girlfriend, so you're feeding her the thing that she would like, which is death, maybe suicide, something. I don't know. It's a stretch, but I could see that it was a complicated meme. Minecraft players, the last video game you played is now where you live. How do you make out? How do we make out, guys? The last video game you play. I think I am, in fact, screwed. Well, not screwed. I'm kind of in a bad place. I live in the Marvel universe, which is pretty bad. It's actually pretty bad. It's also the Marvel, whatever it's called, Rivals universe, where there's dimensions and people are dying.
Said, I'm not familiar if there's a double meaning. Just thought it was cute if you know. You know me.
If you know, you know. Yeah, the long day, yeah. Honestly, most of us are dead. Most games are set in like a nightmare hell. Red's probably fine. Red plays a lot of like wholesome games. Red's locked in. We're all dead, probably.
G-Red said, oh, anime update. I binged season 1 and 2 of Solo Leveling.
Fucking good, right?
I enjoyed it. Good animation and action.
Hell yeah, man.
But absolutely zero romance of any kind. Not even a little.
Not yet.
I still prefer Sal.
Not yet. Well, there's some romance. There's the blonde lady who he keeps dipping in and saving. There's not... maybe romance is the wrong way to phrase it, but there is definitely, like, something there. And it will...
One Syndicate said, I live with the ZZZ universe. I could be either very good or very bad. There is no in between.
I think it's good. I think if you're in the Cyberpunk universe, you're probably okay. You just probably have to not go to the capital cities and like just become a nomad and go somewhere to chill. Because it does seem like the technology is good enough to where you could just like, you know, suck water out of the air in a desert plane and be kind of fine. So I feel like you'd be fine. You gotta hope that you don't get corpoed or something. You know, people don't come and steal your land, which they probably will. But I don't know. Maybe that's why the nomads are so fucking safe. Dead by Daylight players, you're screwed. Yep, bad. Real bad time. It was Dying Light players. Yeah, Dying Light's tough. Dying Light people die all the time for stupid reasons when they shouldn't be dying. Maybe if you have like a slight IQ, you'd be okay to be okay in Dying Light. Just don't go out fucking at night outside. Ooh, Cyberpunk. Speaking of the devil. Depressed ass, yeah. I feel like Cyberpunk would not be as bad if you just left that fucking main city. The last video game you played is now where you live, and it's Elden Ring. Yeah, you're bad. You're having a bad
Lone
time.
Syndicate said, anime update. I have not finished season 1 of Solo Leveling because it's not all dubbed and it was getting good.
Yeah, I have also not finished.
McFlufferkin said my last played games were Rivals, Z's v Rising, Helldivers 2, Soulstone Survivors, and
what was the
Night Train.
last?
Safe to say I'd be dead as a doornail.
All of them would be dead, yeah. What would be your best? I feel like Z's. Because Marvel Rivals is like permanently in a state of like dimensional terror and chaos. Yeah, all of them you're dead. Yeah, it was the only one that's slightly good is ZZ. I pick ZZZ. ZZ is the only one you can like. I hope I end up not in a radiation zone.
Said I will probably forever compare every anime to Sal Lol. Season 1 and 2 is all dubbed for Solo Leveling. At least where I watched it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I thought season 2 wasn't even out yet, or maybe the guys are talking about maybe just it's split into like 12 and 12. But I thought they like I don't think there was a second push yet. I think the second push is coming out. I think it was just one of those rare series that came out with 24 episodes.
Nine Fetus said if you don't work for a court, in a gang or a merc. So fucked all the way around unless a corpo that does okay, but not bad or great.
I feel like the best life to live is the nomad life. Just be like, hey, I'm just going to go like make money selling trash and go to a far piece of desert land and like just live in a car. Not a great life, but you're not dying. Where in Marvel Rivals, you'll be like sitting there making lunch and then your building will collapse. And you'll get like your brain taken by Ultron or some shit. You're like, what the fuck is happening? I feel like the Overwatch world would be much better to live in. Because they're like terrorist activity like stuff, but it's not like it's relegated to a bunch of hotspots.
Said ZZZ is a post-apocalypse. I'd probably have no ether aptitude and end up a trash mob ethereal.
You don't know that.
Doesn't even dirty her.
But there's a chance. There's a chance you have an ether aptitude. What are the other ones? Elden Ring. Power World would be the best. I feel like honestly, Power would be one of the better ones. Because at a base level, you're a freak. Like I feel like you can get hit by like a giant monster and be fine. You just don't go to the fucking boss areas, which will one tap you, and you're pretty deadly. Humanity in Outer World or fucking Power, Jesus Christ, names. You're an apex predator just by naked, honestly. And the tech is fun. You can build a home. You can also capture people. So, like, you know, you won't be lonely, not only with pals, but with, like, forced friends. Yeah, this guy's winning. I'd be pleased, too. Honestly, I feel like this beats Minecraft. Because Minecraft, you're, like, in a desolate place with, like, weird village, long nose, kind of, like, weird tan. I don't know what you even call it.
Gnawing fetus said or get captured by a random player in Pal World greater than.
I have some confidence that I'd be okay. Is that fucked up? Because I feel like I'd get really into it. You know what I mean? Because I don't think that's a thing. Like, in the Pal World, I don't know if there's people who steal other people besides the... No, yeah, I don't even know. I don't think, like, outside of us, I don't know if there's any instance of another person taking another person. You know? We're just the people who are fucked up to do that. You know? I know there's the one guy who can, like, you can sell human beings to, but I don't know if you can buy a human being from him. So I would take that as that's not allowed in the world unless you're the player character. Almost like there's a movie that came out a while back, like a long time ago, was a guy who existed in a world where no one lied, and he finally understood, like, oh, I can lie, and he got ahead, but not really ahead, which is cool. Like a contained evil. Anyways, how everyone saw Sonya, I swear. It's fucking goddamn it. Let's just restart it. And this.
Gnawing fetus said if it's frowned upon, other people have done, do it.
But there's no instance of it being done, you know? Where in Night City, there's tons of instances of it being done. Just like, you know, yeah. You know, I don't know.
McFlufferkin said it depends if I'm as capable as my last played character in the last played game, or if I'm just me. Latter would just leave me as an overweight dude with low physical stats.
Dude, I think that's such a fun concept to play around with in your head. Definitely some, like, kind of like... What if I got isekai'd one day and I became strong? It's kind of like a little cringe, but the idea of, like, what if a divine god came down to you and said, what the game that you just played, maybe not that. Maybe it's the same question, but they're like, but you get prep time. So you reincarnate as the character you have. You have a week. I would fucking slam 8 energy drinks and just burn through it. I don't know what the top of my game would be. Do you guys know what yours would be? Power World's top of mine. I think that'd be fun. What would be the best game to, like, reincarnate and you get to have your existing character? Fuck, man. I don't know. Outer Worlds is a hellhole. All these gacha games, you technically don't exist. Rover has a pretty good run of it, though. Better than Wise. But technically, would you be able to tap into your arsenal of people? Maybe you could, like, command them so you'd have summons. You'd have, like, a weird built-in harem. I don't know.
Lone Syndicate said, can I choose Nikkei?
Probably. That's a kind of a war-torn country, though. I guess you're still winning. You're the general, so you have, yeah. Yes. But I'm thinking about, I don't want to be horny. I want to be happy, Lone.
Okay. Said
maybe the same thing for you. Flutter says, Hadada games would be wild. Dude, being in a Hadada game, that'd be such a funny premise for a story. You could isekai into a Hadada game, but you just are frustrated with the the complete nonsense logic of everything. Like, you see a person making out and you're like, it's in the middle of the class. What are they doing? Because you get the stupid logic, but possibly that logic permeates through other people, you know? Ooh. Right now it's Power. Power is top of mind. Minecraft is still hellish. And a lot of pals don't fight you if you don't fuck with them. You know what I mean? They're kind of not a great... Anyways, what is this?
Her ass was like this big. Okay, but why are you telling me this? Because Wise can't catch a hint. Yes, pardon my language for my uncouthness, but yeah, her ass like this big. And I've heard that you've been friends with her for a long time.
I see first. This is Zhu Yang, the cop lady who was stacked. I remember being so sad that we didn't get her, and then she aged out of the meta, and I thought, whoa, thank God.
Time, right? Yeah, we've known each other for a while. So has she always been blessed with the figure, or has she just developed it over time? You sounding really suspicious right now. Listen, I'm just trying to see if it's genetics or she worked for it, because I'm curious about that spawn point.
It's a weird thing, though. I don't know if I feel like there's not very many things that would make me feel uncomfortable. If a person came up to you and was like, yeah, you look so good, but like, I want to make sure our kids look just as good. I'm like, what? That's hella sus.
She's a great captain, and she's also a great teacher. Everything that I've learned is practically from her. So, would you ever think about replacing her if you ever got the position? Maybe not. I honestly don't know. She needs to ease up.
What?
McFlufferkin said honestly Monster Prom would be a fun universe to be isekai'd into. It'd be like Halloween Town where everyone is some sort of monster.
Oh, that'd be the ideal, but I ain't fucking fighting giant colossus monsters. We're talking about have a world where you wouldn't die immediately. Half of my brain is thinking, how OP can I get within a week to then be able to be okay, you know? I definitely do not want to have so it's any game that has a good scaling for the main character. Honestly, man, nah, maybe not. I was gonna say maybe Borderlands, but well, Borderlands, you fucking dumbass peeing on Pandora and shit. You used to get a plane ticket off Pandora, and I bet there's a chill place somewhere. You know what I mean?
Much and you're gonna get burnt out and not want to do anything. Okay. Jane, listen, we need to concoct a plan to get her and Wise to go out on a proper date. Bet, I got you, say less. I heard the plan and I want in on it. Okay, but what makes you want in on the plan? I want nieces and nephews. So I'm gonna make sure that he has her by the handlebars on her back.
I don't remember her. Or this scene very much.
Said in Nikkei, I would be happy. What do you mean, Grin? But in all seriousness, there's a couple of games that I have off the top of my head.
Hit me. What would they be?
McFlufferkin said Monster Prom is a multiplayer dating sim, so it's more like they're all monster people.
Oh!
Just no, common.
Oh,
human.
I'm so sorry. You said Monster Prom. My brain. Oh, it's my fucking. I'm so sorry, Fluff. My brain. It's so dumb. Again, I can't describe how I swear you said Monster Hunter, and then I look at it again and it's changed, and my eyes are just like I'm an idiot or blind or brain sees what wants. I don't know. Regardless, Monster Prom. I think I remember seeing this at some point. Let me look this up real quick. I just don't know if it's going to get some sussy nonsense. I don't think it's sussy. I'm wondering if the image results will be something weird. Monster. Honestly, a good. Well, no. Some of these Haruda games, for no reason, decide hey, guess what? We're gonna put a lot of emotional damage within this heroine. Yeah, she went through a lot actually, and you're like, oh Jesus. There we go. What is this all about? Ooh, okay. Well, that just looks fun, honestly. I'll open some windows so you guys can see what this is all about. Ooh, it's kind of got a star. Oh, I forget what the one thing is called, but is this like a dating sim or is this a beat 'em up? Here's the game that Fluff mentioned. Monster Prom. Looks nice. We have Hot Medusa,
McFlufferkin
Demon
said
Boy.
it's mostly suggestive language and some spicy ending cards, but the game is relatively tame.
Guys, I hate when things don't just become what they are. You know? It's just why are we getting so close to the fire if you're not going to just jump in? It's just a real, I as much as I do say, people who want to play hot at a game where their character's ass is hanging out, I'm like, isn't it distracting? Aren't you a little bit damn, you know what I mean? And it gets in the way of you actually gaming and then trying to relax and not be oh my god, hot.
Lone Syndicate said Jack and Daxter, Neptunia, Persona, Dishonored. Etc.
Dishonored? I guess that would be cool, but I feel like Dishonored's world is pretty gloomy. I mean, Persona I get. Also steals those. Jack and Daxter are also crazy. All these answers are insane. I feel like none of these lives are ones I want to live. Also, Jack and Daxter, I don't think it's as powerful. Y'all have no survival instinct. That's what I'm learning. To me, man, I am very much hey, how much of an advantage can I get? Can I be okay? Can I be happy? Y'all are the people who are I want to isekai into a more difficult life. And I'm what? Guys, please. Although I do, this one's cool. Halloween Town would be a cool movie series to get pulled into. Although I want more. I haven't seen enough of Halloween Town to know. Oh, did we see the other one? I think we watched this one before.
Alexa,
right? I watched this.
A boyfriend? I am not sure I want to say.
I think we watched these, did we not? I think we've seen these ones.
G-Red said, as much as I like life sims with romance, these dating sim games are far too basic IMO.
Yeah, I just feel like it's weird to be in the, like, just be what it
McFlufferkin
is.
said they have mod support where you can insert your own characters, which is cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
The latest installment is MonsterCon, where it has a lot of convention tropes.
Oh, I was about to say, is there, yeah, I think we watched this one. Yeah. Yes, I think we did. Okay. Let's scroll up to when we see new ones. Yeah, also, I did see that there's a Devil May Cry reference.
Lone Syndicate said Infamous 2, and I mean
Rafa's
GRINN,
filter.
at least I didn't say any horror games like Resident Evil or some shit.
Yeah, I was thinking about Resident. You just sorry, my brain immediately when you said as soon as you said Infamous, I immediately put myself in the position of okay, what if you did have to get reincarnated as Infamous? And I'm like, dude, it's so fucked up because you look at like, oh, what do I actually want then? Like, what do I want? And I'm like, I want a game where I can be overpowered, I can invest a ton into it, so I have a much better advantage, and I want a world that like is fun to exist in. You know what I mean? And I think about Infamous. I'm like, Infamous is so long as you were a big player, I don't think it'd be that bad. You have like a whole jungle gym to run around in. You have a city, no one can really touch you or hurt you. You can help people out for the rest of your life. Like, it doesn't sound like the worst. You know what I mean? Depends on what Infamous, I guess. And depends on like what. Yeah, like it's funny because like, do you reincarnate into the exact world, or do you incarnate into some sort of like vibe? Because like, if you incarnate into like, this city's gonna go explode with a nuke if I don't do some shit about it, I guess I don't know. Let us see what this is all about. This might be our last meme gang. Tina Tina Core.
Ladies got a gut full of dynamite and a booty like.
Tina, you know there are like other kinds of food, right?
Because we just talked a lot about Borderlands 4, I want to ask you guys a question. This will be the ending question. What Vault Hunter do you want to be in the 2 Vault Hunters that we are given? God help me if Tina isn't one of them. I'll be so sad. I know it's not happening. I'll be sad right now thinking about it because I know it's not going to happen. But man, I so fucking badly want Tina to be a playable Vault Hunter. I don't think I've wanted this more than anybody. Out of all the characters we played, I want Tina so badly to be a character we actually play. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we could say like in Borderlands 3, she was getting her like her Vault Hunter legs under her or something. I don't know. I doubt it. It would be such a grand slam thing though, dude, because it's such a like you basically are paying for this unique thing. Like it makes sense that they didn't put her with the normal cast, and then instead you're like gonna have to spend $50 for her or whatever it is. Because I think so many people would be like, hell yeah, if she's anything like Krieg was. Fuck
G-Red said agreed.
Yes, dude.
Tina would be fun.
I would love playing Tina, so long as it wasn't hell. I mean, honestly, it could be hell. It could be like just nonsense, Deadpool-y, jokey stuff. But dude, I'd be so thrilled. I mean, the only other thing that we have a barbarian melee guy that I think we're covered. We have like an elemental hazard lady that possibly could maximize ordinate damage, which is neat. We also have a pet class, like tried and tested. We also have a melee assassin. I would say assassin necessarily, more like a drone bot kind of. I don't even know what Rafa is. Rafa is like kind of just like a utility character, almost weirdly enough, almost like a tech character, I guess. He has like kind of like Cyberpunk, where he has like thousands of different ways to accomplish different ways of just killing the enemy, whether it's like so and so. So I just don't know what gap there is. So Tina could cover like the chaos character, which was like Claptrap or Krieg. But what would be the other character? I don't think a tanker is very fun. Do we have a soldier? Not really. Oh yeah, I guess the Molly 1 character is literally a Molly 1 soldier, I think. Also, I wonder if the Molly 1 girl will like summon one of those giant Molly 1 suits. That'd be kind of neat. Anyways, because we don't know her skill trees yet. We know one of them is like a disco ball, but anyways, I don't know, man. I don't know what other character I want. Melee hopefully is covered. Elemental like pet class is covered. Elemental character is covered. Weird tech class is covered. The only one that I don't think we have is like an assassin class, because I don't think Rafa has any sort of like invis, like digiclone or anything like that. Yeah, I guess like a potion class, an alchemist kind of class wouldn't be terrible. I just don't think that's as exciting.
Lone Syndicate said, is it wrong that I want Fiona from Tales to be a DLC Vault Hunt?
Who's that? Let me find out who that is. Is that I mean game? I got it. Where is it? Let's see what that is. I don't know if that character at the top of my head. This Tales of the Borderlands Fiona. Text voice to okay. I will, but I want her to look better. I want her to have a glow up. I will fight for this for you, Lone, but I don't like the way she looks at a base. Granted, that's not how that game works, and you can change how she looks anyway. Oh shit! Wait a minute. Okay, wait. So this is what I'm seeing. I don't know. Again, there could be cosmetics, but is this? What about this one? Can I open that in a new tab and it actually work? No, I gotta open it. I just don't know if whenever I open it, if it's gonna show me like some sort of thing. I think save search is on, but I don't know. I just like to be double careful. But if she looks like this, which I don't know if that's right, what happened to Fiona for her to look like she just went through a meat grinder and like became Krieg's best friend? Do you know why this is a thing, Lone? Is this not who she is? It's just a weird thing? Because if this lady, I clicked on it anyway. If this lady becomes this lady, damn, what happened? Or is that not the same character? Weird. She did not get the Reed treatment. Reed had like a fucking glow up like you would not believe, but damn. Anyway. To me, I'm a game with that though. She's the character that I could see people being interested in. I also wouldn't be opposed to them doing like a Mach 2. I just don't think they'll do it. Like, I think it'd be really cool if they made like Gauge 2.0. I would be totally fine if like Tina, if like Tina basically replaced Krieg. Like, I would love playing Krieg again, but I would be equally fine with playing like a new Chaos Queen instead of a Chaos King like Krieg was.
Lone Syndicate said, I enjoyed Fiona a lot in Tales and I liked her character a lot, and at the end they hit towards her being one, and I want to see them pay off on it.
Oh, I would love that, especially if she looks like that. Like, she looks like a badass, you know what I mean? Like, not like a weird fucking poker table player. But again, I think that's also like, again, as much as people want to be like, this character doesn't look great for me, it's a moot point because you can change them. Like, that's always been the Borderlands thing, so you'll be able to find some configuration with like a visual that you like usually. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with me and spending so much time with me just talking about the stats, essentially. Again, for anyone who is playing Vex, despite, again, we don't know, everything kind of, to me, lines on a linchpin of if it's scaled properly, which hopefully it is. Hopefully they've learned their lesson this deep in the skill trees. Also, if you were worried about like one of the pet classes not really measuring up, a lot of the pet classes were made viable because of an artifact or a class mod that made it so much better. So if they didn't seem like they were scaled as great.
G-Red said apparently that is not the same Fiona.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
That one is from New Tales, made by Gearbox, not Telltale.
Oh. Weird. So it's not the same character, or it's the same character, but it's just they've taken it somewhere else. New Tales is mostly negative on... Yeah. I just wonder if it's like, is it a parallel universe, or if is this Gearbox being like, and now it's our next thing, you know? Oh no.
Lone Syndicate said this was fun, wonderful stream, GRINN.
Wait, before you guys leave. What if? No. Who's the new Siren, guys? Who's the new Siren that we found that was elected in Borderlands 3? And we have 2 Vault Hunters coming out. Please, God, no. If the Gearbox did that, that would be the biggest botch job. If they made Ava one of the playable characters, dude, I'd be like, all right, I give up. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know why. You'd have to do so much goodwill building to do that. And even then, people are still going to spend 6 times just starting a new character, running her off a ledge, and killing her until she's 1,000 times. Anyways, sorry, that was a dark thought. Hopefully that's not the case. God help me. But I don't want to think about it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Again, just another TLDR. We will be streaming again tomorrow, but we'll be streaming at 4 p.m. instead of 3 p.m. 4 p.m., 4:15 probably, maybe even 4:20. Haha. Just because of the
Lone Syndicate
things I have to
said,
do.
well, Paver as a DLC Vault Hunt, maybe question mark.
I hope not. I hope not at all, man. That'd be some bullshit. Anyways, bye guys. Bye bye.